you'll like, oh, I'll pretend I like pies for, a few minutes. And then something, I think the listeners will be fascinated because something builds in you, like a certain form of like, it's almost like lust.
I'm moving into the realm of pun-based humour. So, you had a sore throat, you were Rasputin, the Mad Monk.
Actually, if you want to be really fun with it, I was Rasputum.
Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's an interesting twist on the
Don't
pun-based
mess with the master.
comedy. Yeah.
That was good.
I see I have a lot to learn from you. Perhaps I should not have ventured into the professional realm so soon, for clearly I am just a journeyman.
You can be my indentured servant.
Hey now, journeyman. I think your teeth are just fine.
Just got back from the dentist.
Getting better already.
Weird. God damn it.
Oh yeah, I know about everybody now because of Twitter. I already know everything.
Have you heard of the hot new social networking phenomenon known as Twitter?
Yeah, it tells you.
Someone told me about it in an electronic mail. Log on to the website and find out more. The 90s.
I remember when I was first, like, I don't know, like 1995, I'd see ads in the newspaper for movies, and they'd have a website at the bottom, and I just kind of was like, oh, you probably just go on there and just watch the movie.
Yep.
That's not far off. I was a futurist, You
still are, in a way.
I am. No, I'm very not a futurist.
You're not? I thought you loved the future.
He's a future as a child, and now he has grown up, and now he is a presentist.
I really want to revolutionize mid-90s technology. I'm looking forward to the release of the Sega Game Gear 2.
It could happen.
Yeah. Well, there's the PS Vita, which kind of reminds me of the Game Gear, which is kind of why I want one.
Yeah, in general, Sony, I feel like, is the Sega replacement.
I mean, considering there's going to be about 15 fucking Sonic games on it, it's not going to be too far off.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. I'm drinking tea.
Welcome
are we starting?
By the way, we might as well.
Okay.
Might as well leave all that in, fuck it. Welcome. Give them a little bonus since they've been waiting so long. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Podtoid 165. It's a bit late this week because we were all at PAX. Jonathan Holmes was still, carting the diseased around. But the rest of us were pretty much doing the same, actually. I mean, we were at PAX, so we were surrounded by Aspies. So...
Wow.
70,000 this year, right?
Yeah. There's 70,000 mentals. No one there was right in their head. But we may have been worse, which we're going to have to talk about it sooner or later. We're going to have to talk about Destructoid Live 2, which will...
I've seen the pictures. The pictures look good. They look great in photographs.
Yeah, did you see any pictures of the carpet or the chairs or the walls?
No, I did not.
No.
Is it true that we have to replace that?
Hamburgers.
We may do. I'm not sure exactly what the deal is there. But Dan Emmerich from Activision, the Activision community manager, had a panel after hours and asked me what the hell happened. In fact, we might as well talk about it. We might as well get this out of the way. So, Destructoid had an event, a sequence of events at PAX this year. If you were at PAX last year, you'll know we did Destructoid Live, which was a fun little panel stroke entertainment thing for an hour. Less panel this year, more attempts at entertainment, which didn't quite go right. And people have said, I saw the panel, and I've said, don't call it a panel because that affords it far too much dignity. It was more like a fuck circus. That's pretty much what I think happened. We planned the the whole panel that morning at the Daily Grill opposite the convention centre over protein scramble and French toast. And I think it was noticeable just how little planning went into it.
People loved it, though. People have been talking to me about it nonstop.
Really?
They're still laughing about it. Just the memory of it has them in hysterics.
Well, you see, I still laugh. I still laugh. That doesn't mean it was good.
And there was tons of guests, too, right? You had people shoving food in your mouths, and was Shane there from Ignition? Did he show up?
Shame? No, there was no shame there.
We could have done with a bit of it. No, Shane from Ignition was there. We had a bunch of Sega people. We had a dancer who'd been on, like, America's Top Dancer or whatever it was called. Like, TV or whatever. Television, boys and girls. We brought on a celebrity and ruined his day.
Who, the dancer? Was
Yes.
it Ichon? It wasn't Ichon, was it?
No, it was a man.
No, I'm talking about a
It was
man named Ichon.
it was a man from a thing. I don't know. I'm not up with what the hip kids are listening to these days.
Was he a skinny little man?
He was yeah. I mean,
Was
he
he
was a
Japanese?
dancer. Yeah.
They all are.
Because I had to dance with a Japanese skinny man in Tokyo, and Dale North recorded it, but we never posted it because it was just too embarrassing. He was really good, though. He was from Michael Jackson. Did he dance like Michael Jackson?
No, he was doing like proper breakdancing shit, like flips and kicks and spinny spins in cake. That's the important bit. That's the bit we need to talk about. The bit where Hamza said, "I've got a great idea. I'm going to have cake shoved in my mouth by a blindfolded Max Scoville." While two people from 2K, well, one person from 2K, another person from Digital Extremes did the same. So cake went all over the floor of the prestigious Unicorn Theatre, where just that night before BioWare had been revealing Dragon Age content, and Activision was due in. Then we breakdanced on top of all the cake that went on the floor.
I'd like to point out this was a fairly expensive cake from what I've gathered. It was very thick frosting. It was red velvet with cherries in it.
Yeah. And it better not stain because it's all over my new fucking trousers.
Well, bad news. It probably does.
Yeah.
I got some on my... I walked a mile back to my hotel to put on a sharp vest and tie combo and some clean jeans and my nice boots and do my hair. And then I got fucking cake covered in me. And those are that's like my one pair of nice wearable jeans. And it looks like I had my period all over them.
This is what we get for listening to Hamza.
Yeah.
We're not doing cake next year. We're not doing any food next year. Like, if you thought the Sinner's Sandwich contest the year before was messy, the fucking cake was I'm so fucking pissed. Like, my clothes are expensive when you are John Candy, and somehow I'm going to have to try and get away with this with my wife, who got pissed that I lost my $10 sunglasses, let alone the trousers, which I don't even want to think about how much they fucking cost. So we did that. We got cake all over the Unicorn floor. Me and a professional dancer then danced all over it to make sure it was proper ground into the carpet. I mean, we talked about our expense.
Jim, can you describe in detail your dance routine that you did?
My dance routine, I did a funny jig, which everybody loved. Got some it from the audience. Pulled down my trousers, which is probably where all the cake got on them. Pulled down my trousers, revealing my milky thighs to the world. And proceeded to use submit like a grinding bowl.
I think you rammed him more. It was very humping.
I basically attacked him with my penis.
Submit told me that before the panel you went up to him and made sure that he was sitting in the front row, but you wouldn't tell him why.
Yeah.
I wonder, how much fear went through his head when he saw you pull down your pants and he knew that his time was there.
To be honest, I don't think it compared to the relief that's as far as it went. Like, because he knows I'm capable of worse, so at least it only went that far. Then I had a heart attack and died. And just as I was falling, I thought, oh, this would be funny. I'll pretend to have a heart attack and die. Everyone will laugh. Good end to the dance. It was about when I was at a 45-degree angle that I remembered there was cake on the floor. It was too late. There was no way I was self-correcting from that. And it just all over. And on my fucking waist jacket as well. My fucking black, beautiful waist jacket that I bought specially for the panel and was hoping to wear for, like, gym positions and things. So that's... I mean, if the fucking PAX people are complaining, I mean, we have taken a hit as well. Like, everyone involved.
We should send them our dry cleaning bill. Just to fuck with them. Like, I don't know if we're going to get approved for a panel again. I mean, genuinely...
Come on. How did it go over? What was the reaction?
I sent an email. I want to say I sent an email to Khalil White, the organizer of the PAX panels, who's always been very good to Destructoid, always been very responsive. I sent him an apology email about 3 days ago. There has been no reply.
Well, he's busy.
Wow.
Yeah,
apparently one
he's
of the
busy fucking having cake dug up out the fucking carpet.
I guess when we were leaving, one of the enforcers just kind of looked at Nick and went, "Yeah, thanks for throwing fucking hamburgers everywhere." And,
let's talk about them. Didn't even get to the hamburgers.
We haven't even gotten to the hamburgers. Yeah.
Yeah, we decided. I say we. None of the bad stuff was actually any of my fault. I mean, I've got to take responsibility as the organizer who did no organizing, but for once, all the trouble, like the Sega dance-off was my big responsibility, and that went off quite well. That was mess-free.
Except for the cake.
That was already there. I had nothing to do with the cake. I had nothing to do with whoever thought. I think it was Nero who thought, let's get lots and lots of hamburgers, so that when we announce burger time, and hey, let's say 45 minutes after we announce burger time as well, we'll throw hamburgers around into the audience. I'm sure it'll be fun. They won't throw them back. So that's what happened. For the next 45 minutes, hamburgers were thrown around the prestigious Unicorn Theatre where BioWare had been the night before and Activision was due to arrive.
Now, was this
McDonald's hamburgers?
Well, we had there were specially prepared ones, and then there were these McDonald's ones. Nick, the responsible editor-in-chief, who later on that day told the entire audience to get up on the fucking stage, the responsible Nick Chester, his reasoning, for the hamburger mess was McDonald's should have fucking wrapped them up better.
Yeah, the enforcer apparently, who's probably, I don't know, I guess they're probably volunteers, or at least, well-paid dudes who get to wear blue shirts, and he just stared at Nick and went, "Thanks for throwing fucking hamburgers everywhere." And I guess Nick went, "You want help cleaning them up?" And the guy was just like, "No, it's okay." And then proceeded to pick up our disgusting hamburgers.
I mean, I apologized to the fellow with the beard and pigtails, and he was like, "It's okay, we've got a crew coming up, we've got a cleanup crew coming." Apparently the cleanup crew were the ones who were the least happy about it. I wonder why. But they're the ones we really needed to apologize to, but we were long gone by then. We were out taking fucking photographs like proper celebrities. Yeah. While other people cleaned up our mess, and the Unicorn Theatre stank of onion. Destructoid made PAX smell of onions. That was our contribution.
Come on. It's a video game convention. I smelled some new smells there, okay? We weren't doing that big of a thing.
I don't think we did. I don't think the smell of rotting, cold, congealed hamburger flesh. That is a pretty accurate smell of PAX most times, so we probably did alright. Apparently all the panels afterwards got delayed as well, while they dealt with our mess. Yes, there is a video of the cake eating contest that someone, one of the audience guys, I think it was Swishy, took. put it up on YouTube, and there's a comment just like, "These fucking geniuses, man! They fucking put cake on, and every panel was delayed. They ain't coming back next year. I hope they had fun. Hope the cake was good."
Who said
Guess
that?
what? We're gonna be there next year, and we're gonna have a fucking panel. It just might not be in the PAX theater.
Yeah,
But we're sure as fuck gonna have a bigger audience.
fucking sidewalk outside.
Well, I mean, people liked it though, right?
Well,
That's the bottom line.
Are you fucking kidding me? It was a Gwar concert. It was incredible. People loved it.
I mean, people seem to. I mean, I was saying afterwards it was the bumblebee of panels. Like, it's the thing that shouldn't fly but does. And, I mean, the thing was, it was fucked. It was Sean Norton, works with Sega, PR guy, like, he's just said it was a shit circus.
I had guys lining up to get kicked in the balls by me.
Yes, we had Tara Long kicking audience members in the bollocks, Swift kicking the balls. What else did we do? We tried to have a Q&A, which didn't work.
We gave away some prizes. Some of the prizes included lubricants that I got at a truck stop in Fresno, and a book about teaching African-American children, and then T-shirts from Machinima's Awards in 2010, and a Game Revolution shirt.
Yeah,
they're really comfy shirts.
We did give away the CD, didn't we, as well? I accidentally, while in Seattle, bought a hip-hop CD from a boy. He said...
Oh, God, Jim, can we talk about the... Our rooming adventures together?
Oh, we can. I mean, this is... Well, we say rooming adventures. Like, Max and I roomed during PAX, and people were expecting all sorts of hijinks. I don't know what they were expecting, but we hardly were in there together.
Yeah.
But the moments we did, we had some fun. I mean, it started at the Destructoid party Thursday night, where I got a little tipsy.
You were double fisting appletinis.
I was double fisting appletinis, ladies and gentlemen. And I think I cut a gentlemanly figure as I did that.
We were making up movies. We were inventing films together.
We came up with some great ideas.
We really did.
We came up with... Well, Max came up with Gruben Gruber, if you want to describe that one.
Sure. Gruben Gruber would be the college sex romp a la Animal House that is about Hans Gruber and Simon Gruber from the Die Hard films as two rascally, young men who want to have parties and they want to have sexy parties, but Dean McClane is trying to stop them.
There you go.
What? Which McClane is that?
John McClane, but he's the dean.
He's the dean.
So he's like, Grubers!
And then Max mentioned Animal House, which made me think of Spawn versus Animal House, which I think would be the crossover of the century.
Todd McFarlane's
Spawn versus Animal House versus Jim Belushi's Animal House.
Well, there's different spawns. There's a few.
Then we went back to our room together. In the elevator, you ran into some guy who said, "Oh, hey, you're that Jimquisition guy," and you proceeded to sort of fall into the elevator wall and go, "Oh, I'm in no shape to be talking to anyone right now."
Yeah, that happened. And then we laughed, didn't we? The second he left, we both burst out laughing about how stupid our job was. That we get recognised in the elevator for no deserved reason. No one. We don't deserve to be recognised, especially after we've been throwing hamburgers around.
Yeah, but then we got back to the room, and I produced a bottle of Powerade, and we had a nightcap.
Yep.
And then we discussed the possibility of haunted Star Wars, I think.
Yeah, haunted Star Wars. We wanted it to be like the spookiest Star Wars ever. What would that be? Well, we had things like, what if Han Solo was a Frankly Stein?
Yeah.
Zuckus and Forlom meet the Wolfman.
What if IG-88 the vampire?
Yep, IG-88 the vampire.
IG-88.
Yeah. It was like basically like Hammer Horror, like Bela Lugosi, that sort of thing, and Star Wars.
The sad thing is, it's actually more of a genuinely good idea than anything Lucas has done in the past 10 years.
That is true.
And then I remember we were like a couple of fourth graders trying to fall asleep at a slumber party, but we kept giggling, and we kept just like chiming in with different ideas. I remember one of them was, what if they unfroze Han Solo from carbonite, but he was just retarded, and Chewbacca had to carry him around in a baby carrier for all of Return of the Jedi.
Or like how he's got C-3PO on his back in the middle one in Empire Strike, but it's just like Han Solo just like dribbling and being fed applesauce.
And they still made him a general, but he's just like in a baby carrier shitting himself.
He'd be brain damaged then, I guess. Yeah, brain damage.
Yes, he would, Jonathan Holmes. That's what the humour was, Jonathan Holmes. He'd be brain damaged.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, this panel, this thing that we did. Tara, you were in the audience.
Mm-hmm.
How did it look?
I thought it was actually a little bit less crazy than last year's panel.
What?
It was, huh?
That this year's panel was less crazy than the me, Jim, Chad, and
it.
I don't remember our panel being.
We didn't even stand up in the
we
panel last year.
Around and answered
it was
questions.
very.
I don't know. I was really close to that center sandwich eating contest. So
well, yeah, that part was pretty good.
I guess like it looked like normal Destructoid. Take that as you will.
Oh dear.
Well, I wish I was there. It sounds great.
It looks like, hey, those kooky Destructoid guys are at it again.
Ruining packs for everybody.
I don't know.
Well, I didn't see like the hamburgers like flying. I mean, I saw them flying through the air, but I didn't see them like making a mess or anything.
I saw one hit Nick.
Really?
I heard
someone tried to throw a burger at me and they missed and got Nick.
I like how you guys were like, "Hey Max, take the microphone in the audience and give it to people so they can answer our questions."
Okay, yeah. Why didn't you guys just have people line up to ask questions? That's what
I was like running around and nobody really wanted to ask any questions, probably for fear of having food thrown at them or something.
Here's the thing: to answer your question, Sarah, why we didn't have people lining up and asking questions, right? Because that was a good fucking idea. What you had there. That was a good suggestion. That was an idea of something that would have worked.
But we did that last year.
Yeah, I know. But the point is, it was so disorganized, and I couldn't even see a microphone like in the aisle for anyone to line up. And like
nobody was standing up when they were asking questions, so you couldn't tell where it was going.
People would just talk. By that point, the audience was making its own entertainment. They were just talking amongst themselves. They kind of given up on the idea of this ever approaching a panel. They were doing their own thing.
We invented the meta panel.
Yeah, basically.
When they were doing the makeup contest off in the corner, it was hard to hear because they kept talking and laughing the whole time, and like.
Yeah.
The what?
I was kind of, I guess, in the middle. So I was hearing their conversation and the panel conversation because the microphones weren't very loud.
No, they weren't. They were pretty quiet. Like, I couldn't even talk over, like, people in the audience shouting out. That didn't make sense.
So there was a makeup, just so
we put clown make. Well, we had two people from the audience put clown makeup on Jordan and Conrad.
We had a pretty princess contest.
Yeah, we wanted to make them look pretty. I mean, that just speaks volumes as to my skill as an organizer. In that, so desperate was I to like include Jordan and Conrad somehow that I just said put makeup on them, and that was then an idea.
And they were like, okay,
yeah.
And that
they
was
were cool with it. They actually ran with it and were cool with it, and it was pretty funny in the end. But I mean, that's just the bargain basement of ideas that was that thing. Just this. Oh. It was just a collection of very vague concepts.
Well, a lot of them. I mean, you had. Didn't you announce Saints Row the Third penis mode or something?
That went over.
It wasn't even an announcement. They already knew that.
Really? I didn't.
We showed it. We showed big bouncing breasts for the first time.
Okay.
That was cool. It went over well. People laughed.
And then Mr. Destructoid in Burger Time. That was
Destructoid in Burger Time was a big announcement. Dale North's song at the beginning was absolutely fucking.
Oh my god, that was the best part for me, hands down.
Oh, I didn't know Dale.
It's the only good bit. To be honest, it was.
It was the only bit with preparation.
Yeah, it was the bit where the jokes were intentional. So that
Did he do a live performance? What did he do?
he did a whole music video for us. It was fantastic. It was all about his life working at Destructoid. People were
I'm so
getting
mad that he
out.
did that. He did that, and it was like from there. It was anything we did that was that was an edited video, and we're just a bunch of fucking morons hurling food at each other and insults. We're like animals.
Well, I like that he did it because it just served to further contrast how bad we are. As individuals and as representatives of a professional outlet.
I think people loved it. I'm sure PAX will be very happy to have you back because they want to entertain and cleaning a few stains. That's just part of the. I mean, Gallagher, you're just the new Gallagher,
right? You know how
you made your whole career out of that. People loved it.
Of that to claim that panel was the new Gallagher.
Yeah, and that's
thing.
Generous to Gallagher. I'm being generous.
I think I said that at the panel, and no one heard me because there was just the middle of a riot happening, like a fucking hamburger riot.
That's basically it. It was basically like we were in London 4 weeks ago. That's
like a garbage riot.
It was oh dear. That's all I can say. Next year, I've pitched it to at least Nick and Hamza. Next year, I want to do Podtoid.
Okay.
Destructoid Live, Podtoid.
I think that's a good idea. Opening up to trying to do too much stuff just makes too many things happen at once.
I agree. We got away with it this year, but I tried to go too high. I wanted high concept. I wanted an extravaganza, and got a fiasco. So next year, if we're allowed back, or fuck it, if we're not, we'll do it in the middle of Ubisoft's booth. I don't care. Just us four on a stage, microphones, this shit. So
honestly, I'm surprised we get away with this as a fucking podcast. Because
yeah, that is true. Mind you, people were fucking asking for Podtoid jokes during the panel. Voldemort, do Palpatine. So
I was hoping we did the lust girding, but it just didn't happen. I remember someone asked me. They said I know that someone was teasing, or someone was teasing at a thing that we wish we could have done, but we didn't do. What was it? And I said, they were like, was it the actual lust gurney? And I'm like, yeah, we built an actual fucking carriage to have sex on. Like, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know what
it is, right?
Well, that's exclusive. Like next year at Destructoid Live Podtoid Edition, we're actually going to bring out a gurney, and Max and I are going to fuck on it. And it won't be done for comedy. It won't even be comedy either. Like, it'll be really awkward and clammy and upsetting. And like, we won't be doing funny voices like, "Oh, I'm having sex." It'll be just like,
It'll be like a Serbian film, but with us.
Christ! Oh no! Oh.
Oh no! Like anxious.
Yeah, like that. And like everyone, like people will laugh at first. They'll be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe they're doing this. This is so crazy. This is out there." And
A few minutes later, they'll be like, they really are unhappy.
Yeah.
Having sex for us in a
They
journey.
are so unhappy having sex. Oh, so look forward to that next year. If they thought cleaning the cake up off the floor was bad enough,
we're gonna kill the guy.
That's a tough thing you've got to live up to.
But,
I did stuff while you were gone.
Yeah, what did you do while we were away?
I set the internet ablaze with a collection of fan art I found in 3D. You can view it in 3D on your Nintendo 3DS of Sonic and Link from Legend of Zelda having really various forms of sex with each other at a college campus in a dorm, and I posted it on Podtoid, and I got a really good reaction.
Yeah, I saw some of those pictures.
I saw that. Yeah.
Sonic looked sleazy as hell.
Really? Yeah.
We're gone.
Yeah. I try to keep myself entertained. It's as close as I could get to replicating the feeling I had spending time with you guys. Was fan art of Sonic, and in a real background. They said it in like real world, which is creepy. And I was also on another podcast for a few minutes. I was gonna
Harlot! Jezebel!
They asked me
Strumpet.
to ask all of you. They want each and every one of you to be on the show.
What is it? Do they pay?
No, they really don't. They're just
Oh.
up. They're on the Irish Podcast Network, which I already think is pretty amazing.
The Irish podcast, is that 2 podcasts? They just talk to each other on the phone.
I don't know. This gentleman, he listens to our show. His name is Cullum Ahern. He asked me to be on, and he basically just asked me a bunch of questions at random. And they were fun questions, and he laughed at my jokes, and he's very nice. And his show is called The Game Shroom. I'm not sure why. And they talk about stuff. It's good. You can find it at columahern.tumblr.com.
Big order! I am an Irishman! I am a leprechaun at the end of the rainbow! If you catch me, you can have a pot of gold!
Patio furniture!
had to be done. He was more like, "Oh, Jonathan, thank you so much for
Yeah, Jonathan! How would you like a potato? I have them, for I am an Irishman!
You sounded Japanese, too.
Yeah.
Hey, let's not... come on.
That's just the most racist voice I've ever heard.
Just generally racist.
Come on, guys. We've all had fun at the end of the day, yeah? But let's not get racist.
He actually plays guitar, Cullum Ahern. He's very cool. He's in his 20s. He seems like the kind of guy girls would like. You know what I mean.
Fuck him.
Oh, come on. You're one to talk.
Fucking
Girls love
guitars. I have this chip. I have this ridiculous chip on my shoulder to things that people do that get them laid. The things that actually I fucking hate acoustic guitars just because they're such like a aphrodisiac, and it's like a thing that I could never do. I guess I'm funny and you're tall, but as far as actual skills,
you're tall and
I want to go to parties with an acoustic guitar. And, sitting there, I'll have, thick black rimmed glasses on and a bit of hair, just going over my forehead. Check shirt, jeans, brown loafers.
You look like John Popper from Blues Traveler.
I don't know what that is, but I'll look like him. I'll have a beard on, whatever. I'll do my best to look like, what's his face, that guy from Kotaku who, writes novels. And...
Tim... something.
Tim
Rogers.
I'll dress like him, have my acoustic guitar, and women will come up to me and they'll say, "Oh my god, hello there. Do you play at all?" And I'll go, "Oh yeah, a little." Like that. Yeah. I'll strum a little, yeah. Oh yeah. Then I'll pick it up, hold the neck of it with both ends, look at it upside down, and then just scream at it for an hour. Just like that, like the fucking headcrab zombies. Just like that until they go away, and then I'll say, yeah, like that.
Tim
yeah.
Rogers
So anyway,
do you remember that time? Well, yeah. Go ahead.
What? I was just saying, sports and music and photography are the things I don't like, because if you're good at those things, you get girls, and it's not fair. I can draw, but I can't draw girls, and girls are always like, "Oh my god, can you draw me?" And I'm like, I could draw you a fucking picture of a monster truck throwing up if you want to look at that. And girls never want to see that. And photographers, they're like, "Oh yeah, I could totally photograph you." And girls are like, "Oh my god, I want to be a model." And it's like, I went to art school, so this was a constant fucking thing, because I'm like, what do you do? And I'm like, I paint pictures of snakes because I think they're cool.
I failed art class because for my exam I drew a picture of Victory Bell from Pokemon. And they failed me for that. They don't understand art. Fuckers.
Was it
Max, you're tall, so you don't have to do anything. Just
Max,
trust me.
I know, but I still have that thing where it's like, and then there's those guys who are like, "Oh yeah, I'm really involved with nonprofit and like local, protests and just like some kind of altruistic shit. And I'm like, yeah, man, I like fart jokes a lot. It's just fucking stupid girls.
You're not allowed to be like that anymore, Max, because you are a handsome young man who stars in his own show.
I'm growing a beard.
Oh, okay, you can still can't do it. You can't. You get more girls, or if you wanted to, you would get more girls than just some dude. Who's
I know. It's fucking stupid. It's really. Oh my god, it's so fucking stupid. Explaining what I do, it's the worst. I was at the dentist today, like and my girlfriend is the dental student, and her teacher had to come and examine my teeth as like a double check thing, and he's like, oh, what's, and he looks at my chart and it's like, oh, it says you smoke cigarettes sometimes, and I'm like, sometimes. I was at a trade show this weekend, and he's like, what kind of trade show? And I'm like, it was like a video game thing, and he's like, what do you do? And I'm like, I host a video game news show on the internet, and he's like, so you just play video games? And I'm like, yeah, and then I make jokes about them. He's like, that's your job? And I'm like, I should go. Sorry.
Have I told you about the woman who works in marketing at my day job?
No.
I must have, right? No?
Oh, which she
Everything about her.
All right. She is tall and blonde and wears a power suit every day, and she's a master of vocal intonation. Like, specifically, like, oh, yeah? Oh, that sounds great. Like, constantly modulating up and down. I've never heard her just say, like, okay. It's, okay. And she gets by like that. As we've talked about on almost every show for like the past month, I know a lot of developmentally disabled people. So I can call him when I see him. She gets paid better than me. She gets by on vocal intonation and power suits. Like, she literally cannot think. And this is an example. It was last year. I was going to Tokyo Game Show. And everyone at my day job was like, oh, you're going to Tokyo? That's great. I'm like, yeah, I can't believe it. She's like, you're going to be on a game show? I'm like, no, I'm going to the Tokyo Game Show. It is a trade show. Oh my god, what are you going to trade? I'm not trading anything. I'm going to the Tokyo Game Show. Are you going to win? Is it a reality show? I love reality shows. Like, no, it's not a reality show. It's a video game trade show. I can't believe you're going without me. Just making no sense. And the other day I walked up to her and said, yeah, she's really funny. She's nice, too. I walked up to her and I'm like, are you going to watch Gem tonight? And she's like, she's an executive. I shouldn't be talking to her about Gem, which is the 80s cartoon show about an all-girl band that uses holograms to create dogs to chase
Gem
after
and the holograms. And
I'm sorry.
Was the Misfits, right?
Yeah. So I walk into her office. She's trying to do important things. I'm like, watching Gem tonight? She's like, oh my god, is it a reality show? I'm like, nope, it's a cartoon show from the 80s. And she says, I love reality shows. What time does it come on? Like, she cannot compute the words. Yeah, she's special.
So you just fucking troll her and walk in and be like, hey.
But if you troll someone
are you watching fucking Jason the Wheeled Warriors tonight?
I can do
that. Is that a new kind of car?
Exactly.
Oh my god, Sawboss! What kind of mileage does Sawboss get?
Stand by the water cooler at work and talk really loudly about this awesome fucking reality show called The Human Centipede that you watch. And you've got to track it down.
I could do that, and it would be fun.
There's this contest reality show on the internet. 2 girls and 1 cup. How are they going to get out of that scrape? Well, Google it and find out.
I just realized I could get fired for what I just said. That'll be interesting to see how that turns out.
Oh, we're going to keep that, are we then?
Oh, sure. Well, yeah, you should keep that.
As a thought experiment.
Come on. You only live once, so you got to find out what's going to get you fired, right?
Really?
I mean, if I were to die thinking, wow, I wonder if I would have got fired if we had left that in. So leave it in, for the sake of adventure.
Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
You have a job, like a real job.
It'll be all right.
Just put some music over that part.
You can come back and host the Destructoid show anytime.
Don't do that. I like it here. Don't make me go.
You'll always be first in my heart, Holmes.
It's so ripe for you to come back. I made fun of JRPGs yesterday.
Oh yeah, I wanted to talk to you about that. That's fun.
Am I in trouble?
No, not at all. I like to talk to you about our
I was
differences.
actually surprised by how many people agreed with us.
Oh, sure. Yeah, JRPGs are on the decline.
There's a nice trendy backlash of JRPGs. You'll be all right.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's the other thing I did while you were gone is I played more Xenoblade, which is a JRPG, and it's pretty good.
Are you going to review that? I did you get my email? I sent you and Nick an email because I don't know whether we should review that or not, being a European thing, and won't it ever come to North America?
It didn't go well, that email. I responded a couple of times.
Oh, did you? I didn't get any replies. I didn't see any. Maybe
I'll
missed
dig it up.
Okay, yeah.
What happened was you said, "Are you going to review that?" And I said, "Well, I mean, honestly, I have like 3 spare hours a day tops, and it takes like 70 hours to see everything, I think, in that game. So it would take me a long time. But Jonathan Ross already has it, and he was 10 hours in as of like 2 weeks ago, so he's probably already done. So
Maybe I should just get a review up then. But I don't know whether we should review it or not, because we try not to do imports, but we don't know if it's ever coming out in the States. So
I strongly suspect that it will. They could leave it just as is. Actually, the voice acting, some of the best stuff. It's in the game. It's pretty hilarious.
That's what gets me. It's already localized.
Yeah.
All they got to do is fucking release it in limited quantities. It's a relatively riskless gamble.
They do use terms that I've never heard in the United States, though, so they might have to edit it a little bit.
Well, like bum muncher.
No, like I can't remember, like twiddly twat or like cumbledinkle or something like that.
Twiddly twat.
Something like that.
Bumbledinkle.
Yeah, that's stuff you guys say. It sounded good though, and it's such a British game already because everyone's so laid back about the biggest things, like this constantly shirtless, sexy guy who just carries around a giant like robot sword. It's like, hey, I'm going down to the cave to go hunt for giant monsters. You want to come along? The other guy's like, oh, yeah, all right.
Oh. Sounds like a load of old twiddly twat, if you ask me.
Something like that. You guys know what to say. You know.
I'm glad it's good though. I'd like to play it. I still haven't gotten around to modding my Wii. I'm too lazy, even though it's really easy.
It is. You'll get to it, or it'll just come out here. The game, I don't know if you could tolerate it though. I mean, in terms of graphics, it really is not an expensive game. It didn't cost a lot to make.
Hey, I love Deadly Premonition.
It looks cheaper than that. I mean, it looks
wow.
Yeah, but then again, it's on the Wii, so it doesn't have the same advantages as Deadly Premonition in terms of what the processing power can be done for it. It's pretty. I mean, it looks really good, but if you get close to any object, you're gonna see some really like what's the word for it when the textures are bad?
Jaggies?
Snatchies? Something like that.
Twiddly twat?
Nab.
It's it looks cheap. There's sometimes the characters look pretty ugly. It looks much worse than Last Story. Like Last Story, I think, because I've got to play that a little bit too. I'd say that's like mid-range GameCube to high-end GameCube, whereas Xenoblade Chronicles looks much more like late-era PS2, maybe like Shadow of the Colossus level of fidelity.
That's not too atrocious.
No, I think it looks great. Yeah. The art direction's really good, much like Shadow of Colossus. Well,
that's what's more important than anything, is get the art direction right.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, and they did. It definitely. You just walk up to like cute bunnies and cut their heads off, and then take treasure chests out of their corpses, and there's dinosaurs and stuff.
Jim and I play Skyrim.
I was actually just going to say, talking of animal cruelty.
Yeah,
that's such a good animal cruelty simulator.
Oh yes, I spent 10 minutes burning butterflies with my flamethrower hand, just running around, just burning butterflies. It was fucking great.
Were they at least giant butterflies, or was just like
just regular type? Just going around, going, "What's up? I'm a little butterfly. Oh god, I'm burning now."
I went up to a chicken and I killed it with a mace.
Brilliant.
I found out that actually killing the butterflies it serves a purpose for alchemy. I thought it was just mean. It's kind of less cool. There's so many fish in the fucking game. I'm sorry to keep harping on the fish, but that it's the thing that makes it. It's the fact that they put that much attention into fucking fish How much? The rest of the game must have so much
You're
stuff
right.
in it.
No, it speaks highly of the game when like the fish is that that in depth and detailed.
Are you saying like different types of fish?
There are
Yeah,
different types
they're
of
beautiful.
fish. They're swimming around gorgeously under the water, and you can just go catch them. Swim up to them, and then it's like, press A, catch fish. Yeah, I'll have a fucking fish.
I remember when I tried to
Salmon.
get you to steal that pie, but you wouldn't steal the pie because you were going on a quest.
Yeah, I didn't want to steal the pie because I just joined the, what were they called?
The Guild of Men Who Don't Steal Pies.
The Pie Guild, by royal appointment. Cherry for me.
God, it was so great. The pie looked amazing. The graphics of the pie. And then we saw that candle. I was like, Jim, stop. Look at the candle. And you were like, turned around, and we looked at this candle. It was just very realistic candle.
Was there any love?
I'm a burly man, so I've got steak pie.
I tried to have sex with a crab, but it didn't work, so I just shot it in the face with an arrow.
How big was the crab?
And I took the crab and made crab pie.
The crab was
shell of the crab was the top of the pie, and the
crab
meat of the crab was the meat of the pie. I basically just ate a crab and called it a pie.
Jonathan.
Yeah. Gotta tell me about the crab. What's the crab, though?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Jesus Christ.
I wanted to see how far it would take before Max would stab.
Yeah, but the crabs look awesome. I was expecting to fight large mirelurk, giant bastard crabs, but it was just like like a large, like a real life large crab, like this sense of a
mud crabs.
I had a crab battle.
Sounds
but
great.
it was just like the size of like a house cat or a large pie, and it came at me and it tried to fight me, so I killed it with an arrow. Zach was watching me and he's like, Are you serious? The crab is right there. What, you can punch it. Like, why are you? And I shot it with an arrow and actually missed. So
it was you who I saw with the bow and arrow. You were punching a wolf in the face, and then you just shot an arrow right between its eyes. It was like an amazing fight.
I'm a really good at the game. I'm incredible at it.
Wow, that's great.
I killed a vampire that was summoning like ghost dogs and things. What else?
Ghost dog, like the Forrest Whitaker movie.
Well, it was like summoning things. There was like all these like conjurers and things that I saw. They were summoning monsters and shit. Kicked a wolf in the face. That was awesome. I mean, the thing that really got me about Skyrim, and I've been talking about this like since, we played it on Friday, didn't we? Since Friday, is the fact that we all had an hour each, and yet everyone's got vastly different stories about their own playthrough. And the previews I've read before about people playing Skyrim, it never reads the same. Like, if you read 2 previews of Infamous or Uncharted even, they're very fine games, but obviously they're going to say the same thing. It's like, we went down this corridor, Nathan Drake said this, we punched 2 guys, we went on a train, and it was all very exciting, and then we jumped off the train, and then we climbed up a mountain, Whereas in Skyrim, I kicked wolves in the face, caught a fish, Max Scoville punched a crab, and then shot it with an arrow. Like, it's...
Yeah.
Things are so wide and varied.
Yeah. It sounds like Monster Hunter almost to me, except much bigger. And that makes me wonder how it'll do in Japan. It might even do well there, because in Japan...
yourselves a second. I've just got to go and do domestic things. Be back.
Oh, okay. That's a sudden surprise.
That
Yeah.
never happens.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, in Japan, they love a game where you can
probably
just
taking a
wander
shit.
around. Is that a domestic thing?
That's a thing you do in houses. I don't know.
That's true. Domestic. Resident Evil.
Um,
I was going to talk about Japan.
right.
Sure.
I know. What are some good? Are there any good big? Do they make sandbox games in Japan?
Well, that's the thing. I was just about to talk about. What happened?
Sorry,
Who hurt you?
my cat bit me for no reason.
Oh, typical. I know.
Cat has been really cool with me since I got home. Like, she missed me or something, but then she bites me for no reason. Sorry. Go ahead.
I know cats
Japan.
like that. Well, what you're describing Skyrim to be like sounds like what games are really big in Japan these days, which are games where you just wander around in a wilderness. You're not in an overpopulated city like GTA. Like GTA will never do well in Japan because they're like, oh, just being around people again. Sounds terrible. Like they definitely want some space and to be in beautiful natural surroundings and interact with animals, which you can have a neutral relationship with, or you can kill them, or you can be killed by them. But it's not the same.
I played a
Yeah?
Japanese game at PAX in which I interacted with animals in the wilderness.
You played
What was
Dragon's Dogma, didn't you?
I played Dragon's Dogma.
How'd that turn out?
I felt horrible.
Oh yeah. How come?
I bullied a griffin, basically. me and 3 AI players just pounding the shit out of this griffin, like throwing spells at it, firing arrows. I had to keep shooting it in the wings, and then it fell down on the ground, and then we set it on fire. And there's this griffin on the ground, on fire, screaming, while we're surrounding it, just stabbing the shit out of it. It flew up again, we knocked it back down. Next time I saw it, it was on fire, and it was bleeding from the face. So there was this fucking thing, on fire, blood pouring down its face, people hanging off of it, and slashing at it till it hit the ground again, and it hits fucking just smashes into the ground. And by the time it finally died, it was like, am I the good guy? Because I really felt like the villain. Just bullying. I mean, I guess it's all out of context because it was a demo, but it's like, I mean, it was fun, and the fight was really big and impressive and epic and what have you, but I felt like an arsehole.
Huh. More so than when you lit the butterflies on fire.
When I lit the butterflies on fire, that was fun. That was righteous. I'm a hero of Skyrim.
Did.
I'm a Tamriel warrior. I'm a Dovahkiin. I can set fire.
Behold the wild swallowtail! It comes down on the plains from the throat of the world, and it wreaks havoc. The cat hit me in the face. Fuck.
You just punched you in the face for that voice?
Pretty much. She does that. I told you about the time I said she was an owl and she hit me. It sucks.
What a smart cat.
Fucking
I mean,
asshole.
yes.
Fuck you.
Well,
You
an
know,
asshole.
Food this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tara.
Yeah.
You see, I'm trying to make sure to include Tara more. So, what did you play at PAX that made you all excited and happy?
I have to say I thought 2K had the best booth. Borderlands 2, obviously I didn't get to play it, but it's pretty much everything that I was hoping for and expecting. And also I was really impressed by the darkness too. The first game I liked. I didn't love it. I thought there were some things wrong with it, but the quad wielding that they show off in the second one, where you can individually control your tentacles,
Whoa.
it looks really awesome.
You have tentacles all the time?
Did any of you play the first one?
Yeah, I
Yes.
played it a little.
Yeah.
I remember shooting and goblins, mostly, are the two things I remember.
Yeah, the Darklings.
Yeah, I remember those little guys.
Yeah. I thought there was a little too much going on in the first game.
Not so much
But
in the second one, even though you've got tentacle wielding.
It flows easier, and they've also they slimmed down the Darklings, so you have a bunch of them in the first one, but now you only have one.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Huh, well, that sounds good.
Yeah, I didn't actually get to make it through all of the demo that they had there because they were shoveling people into this dark room to go see Borderlands 2, so I didn't get to finish it, which was kind of.
Did you get shoveled into the dark room?
I did. Mikey Newman was leading the demo for the thing. It's
Oh,
pretty
cool.
interesting. Yeah.
Did you see Anthony Birch there? Good old Anthony Birch?
I don't think he was there, or if he was, I didn't see him.
I think
He was at PAX. He was at.
They were there. They were
I met him.
cosplaying as Firefly.
Oh, were they? Oh, that's cute.
I got to see him and Aaron Lindy and Ashley Davis and Darry Baranowski sort of all together. It was like the most epic group ever. And I was invited to go and eat Thai food with them, but I had to go to a hotel next door to the convention center to see Topware. They had some stuff they wanted to show, so couldn't eat Thai food with those people, unfortunately.
Oh, that's too bad.
That was sad. But it was nice to see them all again, as usual. Always nice to see them. even nicer to play Aliens Infestation on the DS.
Fuck yeah.
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Fucking
That's what
Metroid with Xenomorphs.
Now, how Metroid... See, I'm worried. When you say Metroid with Xenomorphs, that sounds so good.
You know Metroid? Right?
Yeah, I know it well.
That is Xenomorphs.
Yes.
Are you?
And
but
there's gore. There's gore, and there's apparently butt cheeks, and also some swearing.
But Metroid, that's big. That's big. That's not just exploring around. That's platforming. That's using different items to deal with different environmental hazards.
It's not. Obviously, it's not exactly Metroid. Let's say instead of the platforming, it's more like Contra shooty stuff.
Okay.
So it's like you take out the platformy bits and some of the puzzle elements, and you put in a lot more Contra-based action. And this is WayForward, of course, the guys that did Contra. Was it Contra 4?
Yep.
Yeah, so like they know what they're fucking doing. I mean, you could just say it's fucking WayForward plus Aliens.
Right.
And that is a big enough endorsement, I think, for anyone that takes their side-scrollers seriously. But it's loads of fun. It's loads of fun.
This is genuinely a game that I've wanted since I was a small child.
Mm-hmm.
What I loved about it is you start out and you're in the Sulaco and you're kind of creeping around and there's a bunch of dead dudes everywhere and you're like, where'd everyone go? And then you don't see any aliens for like a little while. You see some robots, some like security robots that try and shoot you. But when you actually get to an alien, it's kind of scary because it's fast and it's rude, and it just runs after you, and you're like, get away, shoot it.
They're vicious, they faint as well. Like they will run towards you, then run past you a little bit, and then come back round. Just like these little feints that just like throw you off because they're really unpredictable. They'll jump up on ceilings, they'll run circles around you. And they won't stop. They're like fucking, as you say, fast and vicious. And they'll hunt you as well. Like you run away, they'll fucking chase you. It's really awesome. And they made even individual warriors more than just cannon fodder. Every fight with the Xenomorph is fucking dangerous.
Right. It's important that you keep your guys alive, and they can get caught and then potentially infected or impregnated.
Yeah. Facehuggers can jump out at you. You have to mash a button to get rid of them. Otherwise, they can impregnate you. If one of your Marines gets taken down by a warrior, they'll get dragged back to the alien nest, and then you'll have to stage a rescue. Otherwise, they're getting impregnated, and then you have to fight a little chest burster. So, yeah, really exciting game. They promise power loader battles. There'd be like little vehicle sections where you're like speeding along and you've got to shoot.
You fought a queen, didn't you?
I fought one of the queens. There was a queen battle, really tough. Like she killed like 3 of my guys, maybe even 4. While I'm trying to shoot her in the head and chucking grenades at her. And
it's permanent death, right? When your guys die.
As far as I can see, yeah. Like once you lose a guy, if you don't rescue him, or he is outright killed, I don't think you're getting that guy back. There are 19 Marines. So you've essentially got 19 lives. There are save points and stuff as well, of course. Yeah. So you can, I guess, go back if you don't like that you've lost your favourite guy. But, yeah, as far as I can tell, death is permanent.
Yeah, it looks like a really cool game. I'm excited about it. Is
that coming out this year? Is that this year?
It's coming out this
October
month.
11th.
No.
This month?
No, this month now.
Aww, why haven't they hyped it more?
September 30th.
Because it's a fucking DS game. It makes me fucking sad. They didn't even have a booth for it. It was in a man's pocket.
Yeah, it was a guy walking around the booth.
I had to say, hello, can I play a game in your pocket? And he said, okay, and pulled it out.
I wouldn't have known.
Game.
I wouldn't have known it was even there if Max hadn't been like, I was talking to someone and I just saw over their shoulder, Max with his hand to his mouth, like miming alien jaws, just excitedly.
I did the various the international symbols for various xenomorph things. I did the face hugger, and then I did the alien mouth, and then I did the chest burster. And you looked at me like, "Are you hungry? Like, what do you want?"
Yeah.
And I just waved you over.
It took me a few seconds, and then it finally I started to recognize those ancient symbols and glyphs that he had been communicating, and then I freaked out and. I think I was quite rude because I think I was talking to someone. I was like, "Gotta go, aliens," and ran over.
I love gesturing to people across a crowd. It's like my favorite thing to do. Tara, while you were talking to the guy from Deep Silver about Dead Island, we're at the Square Enix booth, and there was this glass case with a bunch of like Deus Ex action figures in it. And through the glass case, Hamza was talking to so it was Hamza and Carol, and they were talking to this girl from Square Enix, and Hamza kept glancing over at me, and I just kept making all these really fucked up faces at him, and then he started trying not to laugh, but then he'd start laughing, and then look over at me, and I just like hide. But that's a really fun game. If you're ever bored, find someone you know who's like sitting far away from you, and just make a face at them as hard as you can, and see how long you can do it at them before they look at you.
I'm trying to think of a time I could do
giggles
that.
a lot too.
Yeah, little Hamza. Oh. Well, I hope the game does all right. That DS game.
I'm gonna bug people to get it because like it looks like a pretty cool game, and I really have been dying for something good to play on my DS besides this shitty Pokemon game. Just
throw that shit out.
I got to that point where it's like I started catching the really retarded ones, and I'm like, I'm done. This is a fucking vulture in a diaper. This is a buffalo with an afro. I'm going home. Fuck this.
Oh, I love those guys.
Fucking stupid. You like fucking Milk Tank. Milk Tank is so dumb. Milk Tank looks like the fucking official Pokemon of Wisconsin. It's terrible.
Well, who are the smart-looking Pokemon then? I mean,
there are two kinds. There are the fucking cute ones, and then there are the badass ones. So get yourself a fucking Scyther or an Eevee. You know, pick one.
Eevee is badass. The little.
Eevee's a cute one. I love Eevee. Eevee's my favorite Pokemon.
Eevee is very good. Yeah.
But then you get
I like the weird ones. I like the third type. You know, the one with like a giant mouth for an ass and
fucking Weepinbell.
I like Weepinbell. I like the two-headed giraffe rig. Yeah, that's right.
What about like Executor, who's just like a palm tree with a bunch of angry faces on it? Like,
see, I hate those ones because they just look like stupid fucking 80s cartoons.
What? Really?
They just they look so fucking random, just like some idiot just thought, eggs!
Yeah, what the hell is Porygon? Porygon's like a fucking polygon duck. They're like, oh yeah, it's a duck from the internet. It's a virtual Pokemon.
I want to look at them and believe that they are like, you know, conceivable animals in this game's world. I don't want to see a palm tree with eggs for faces.
Oh, I sure do.
If an animal came to life like that, it would just kill itself instantly. The second it became aware of what it was,
it would be like the RoboCop 2s in RoboCop 2.
How many RoboCop 2s are there in RoboCop 2?
They make several RoboCop 2s, and as soon as they turn them on, they go mad from the revelation and kill themselves.
I'm just remembering the one at the end who was
they got the Prime Directive backwards, and it's like, don't take your own life. It's just like they think that's their mission is just to kill themselves.
I remember that now.
How I play video games.
Well, anyway,
we played Counter-Strike Go. We played CS:GO. That was
we played that. That was a first-person shooter.
Yeah, it's a game.
We got PC beta codes for that also.
Did we? We should give those away to people who care.
I only got one of them. I said I was going to give it away on the show, but now I'm like kind of feeling selfish.
I'm keeping mine. I got to do it. Got to do it for my job. I got responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of responsibility, Dead Island arrived at my house today.
Oh, I had it yesterday.
We also have it.
You got Dead Island?
I got Dead Island. I've got like a it's not even a finished build. It's like a blank CD that says like something about Poland on it.
You've got one.
I have to. In fact, I was going to say I have to leave in 22 minutes because I have to go travel an hour to get to Max's apartment to pick up his copy of Dead Island, so that I can go back home for an hour and then play it for 5 hours and then write an episode about it.
Do you want to talk to Zach about picking it up, maybe?
I mean, I just want to get it as soon as possible so I can have time to play it. He won't be able to leave until after work, so...
Okay. Well, yeah, it's fucking rad.
It's good stuff, isn't it? It's rough. Like, I've said this before on the Podtoid, and again, I'm just going by the hour that I'm allowed to speak on. You know, it's a rough game, but that doesn't stop it being fun. And fucking scary. Like, you play that game single player. Single player, I think, is just... When you hear the things just going, and you don't know where they're coming from and which direction they're going to run from, I think it's pretty scary. I mean, you get used to it, but
I've got to say, I had sort of I don't know, almost low expectations for the game, just based on I wasn't sure if it was going to be fun. I wasn't sure if it was going to be too hard for me, or if it was going to be really scary. But I enjoyed the shit out of it.
Which character did you play as?
I played as the rap musician, the rap man.
Okay, that's damn. I was gonna play as that so that I could
play as the ninja
prepare
chick.
myself.
you can
I was
both.
gonna do that so I could prepare myself for the friggin' Dead Island playthrough sleepover thing that we're doing.
Yeah, but in Dead Island, you can have multiple characters in the same game.
Do they all have the same quests?
Yeah, it's pretty much like if you do a co-op game, you can have two of the two like cloned rap guys running around.
Nice.
It's like Borderlands like that, you know. They're more like character classes than like. I mean, they've given them names and backstories, but it's more about what class they are than what the actual character is. So you can have two rappers running around.
So all rappers are the same.
What I like
in a way?
is playing video games with rap-like characters. Is when they are rap-like characters. I like when they are characters in the game because the shit that they say in game, like Saints Row, for instance, it sounds like what I'm saying while I'm playing it. Because I just sound I literally will put on a backwards hat while I'm playing video games just because I like it, and I'll sit there in my like basketball shorts and my backwards hat. And
What?
I don't know how my girlfriend still has sex with me because I just sit there and I'll just be like, "What's up, zombie motherfuckers? Yeah, bitches. Oh, what's up now?" And they're just that's what the guy in the game says, you know.
Wow.
Nice.
Times have changed. That did not happen.
How racist sounding is the black guy's voice?
Yeah, I want to know that.
It's actually a really good. They got a really
On a
good voice
scale of
actor.
1 to Deus Ex.
It's actually not that. I was kind of he's got like a pretty cool New Orleans accent, and there's this whole like when you're on the character choosing screen, he does this whole monologue about how he was raised and how he basically was like a freestyle rapper growing up in New Orleans, and he was poor, and his mom was a crackhead, and then he used to just rap for fun, and then one day he
Wait! Can we talk about this?
Yeah, what?
It's like the first it's not really like story. It's like literally when you're in the menu screen.
You can talk about this. This is.
I mean, it's
but basically
then,
this is covered from the preview build. So.
Huh.
Yeah.
I thought Tara just meant like, can we talk about the fact that it's just the ultimate stereotype already?
Oh,
my mom was a crackhead, and I'm ready to start rapping because of my crackhead mom.
No. Let me finish, Holmes. Jesus.
I'm sorry.
You're such a bigot, Holmes.
I'm such a bigot. It's true.
God, stop being Malcolm X.
Yeah. Stop being
can't help
American History X, Holmes. Yeah, he writes this one song called like Voodoo something, Hoodoo Voodoo, Hoodoo Voodoo bitch, and then he becomes a hit, and he basically is like a one-hit wonder with a freaky rap song about zombies, and then the reason he's on this island is he's performing at this resort. Like they will get, like they'll get Cool Modi to go rap at resorts or whatever, like because he doesn't do anything else anymore these days.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, Cool Modi's probably still successful, but
I think he's producing. But anyway, yeah.
You want to know something that's gonna absolutely blow your fucking mind?
Absolutely.
Fucking Corey Hart, who did "I Wear My Sunglasses at Night," he's been like producing on and off for Miley Cyrus.
Oh, wow.
Listen to fucking one of her songs. It's like "Coming for You" or "Coming to Get You" or something. It sounds exactly like fucking "I Wear My Sunglasses at Night."
Like the do.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds good. I'll check that out. That game, that story. Huh?
Sorry.
Who was that?
It was me just saying.
Oh.
This pie wears my sunglasses at night.
Well, that story doesn't really sound that good. He's going to rap about zombies, and then zombies show up. That's very like Anaconda level writing.
He's on this island because he's a washed-up rapper. Like he is the fact.
But his hit song just happened to be about zombies, and then coincidentally there was a zombie out.
That hip hop gamer, hip hop gamer.
Oh, sure.
I heard he did a song for some game. I think that might have been it. Maybe, I don't know.
All right. Well, if he did it, I'll like it. By
really? I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, by nepotism. I like that guy. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, I don't. No, I maybe not. I don't know. I heard he's doing a song for something, but I don't
I'm sure he is.
keep up on it.
I'll look into it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Late making up rap games.
what?
Like just making
So
bad
Dead Island.
Dead Island.
So
I got confused way back when in this podcast. I was going to talk about how Japanese games aren't as different from Western games as they used to be. And all the stuff you guys said about Skyrim reminded me of Xenoblade, except in Xenoblade, when you walk around the town, you can go to a little spot that has two hands touching each other and have a heart-to-heart moment. It's hard to heart, but if you heart-to-heart right, you can find a relationship.
What?
Is there any of that in Skyrim? Any relationship building?
Yeah, you can wear a fucking amulet, and if it's a cool enough amulet, then there's people going to try and fuck you, and you can marry them. It doesn't matter if they're boys or girls.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Wow,
I asked the motherfucker about it. I was like,
fuck-you-lit?
Matt Carafano, explain to me how I can impress Argonians. What? I don't know if you can have sex, but check it out. You can you get different kinds of amulets, and they will impress different types of people, I guess. Like they're aphrodisiac amulets or something. And you can draw the attractions of different types of people, and if they like you enough, you can marry them, and then they will always be your companion, and you can have them cook for you, you can have them go into battle with you. Like you can get a wife and have her make you like pies, probably.
Whoa.
Oh, I like the sound of that. A nice strawberry pie, I think. Yes, yum, yum, yum.
See, if they put that game on the PSP in Japan, I think it would sell really well. That's all that sells over there these days, or one of the bigger sellers. Is just wandering around and talking to people and killing animals and getting a wife.
Do you eat any pie in a Japanese game, young man?
What is that character? Just a guy who...
It is the... I beg your pardon, sir. I am an adept of the Pie Guild by royal appointment. Parsnips and pie.
Just a slow-talking, gravelly man who just... Did someone say...
I'm a very manly man who eats pie.
Meat pies,
Pie for dinner. Pie for breakfast.
various types of egg pies,
Ooh.
pies, all sorts of pies you can
Egg pie? You must be joking. Yoking.
Skyrim, this is Skyrim.
No.
If I had my druthers, I would sleep in a big pie bed.
Look,
This is...
great big bird's nest, only it's been baked in an oven.
With parsnips for pillows! It would be the most savoury sleep I've ever had, my boy.
This is the new thing? Is just guys who like pies?
Wrap
That's
yourselves in meat, my good man. You're about to be baked into your bed.
Wrap myself in mink?
Meat cutlets.
I'm going into the garden to plant some pace trees!
Some what trees? Paste. Oh,
Pace trees! It's so manly to eat pie.
You can take a magical gem and embed it in the base of your rolling pin, and it'll be a magic rolling pin for making magic pies.
I've got plus 10 in pie stuffing.
wow. It's.
I wish I had plus 10 pies, plus 20 more pies to eat right now.
This is really fascinating.
I baked pie for pants. Look at my pie pants.
Wow. It's wow. Yeah, I'm gonna be thinking about this for a while. The new thing that happened is just yelling about pies. Like hurting yourself. I can tell your throat is hurting. And you're not trying to think of any jokes or say anything. It's the new thing is just yelling about pies.
Oh, they're going to be doing it all at school.
It's a very sturdy pie. It is. It's a large basket woven with pretzel dough.
And at least Max is trying to do an accent, but Jim is just kind of being
Jim's just
himself.
Pizza! Pizza is not a fucking pie!
Pizza pie? Who in the fuck is Pete?
Pizza pie!
Get down here, you are not a pie!
They only call it pizza pie to make it rhyme in songs! It's not a fucking pie! Where's the pastry? Where's the
Quite
steak?
like a tart.
The what?
Where is the gravy?
That was so grapply.
A soup pie. It's very wet.
That's like an awful pie.
Jim, I had an idea.
I just had a great pie feast! I'm going to wash it down with some peanut pie!
Jim,
Peanut pie!
Jesus Christ.
Ladies and gentlemen!
Jim, Jim, take the atropine and jam it directly into your heart. The VX gas is taking effect.
Wow.
Right, so,
This is the new thing.
Jim, when Skyrim comes out, I think we should make a point of just Skyping each other and shouting while we play the game.
Yes, we will do that. Oh, God, my throat hurts.
I bet.
I'm going to,
I need my pie to lubricate my throat.
going to wash it down with some raspberry melon Gatorade.
Oh, that sounds good.
Frosted goblet of pie filling.
I've been drinking green and white tea. Have you ever had that?
Oh, God.
It's pretty weird.
I think I'm going to have a heart attack.
Yeah, I know. I'm worried
I'm
about
going
you.
to have one of my things.
You'll be okay. Do you want me to talk about something while you rest?
I love the idea of that. I love the idea of a big, hairy, like, manly man eating pie and being a bloody good bloke.
Yeah, he seems like a great guy.
I think I'm actually going to set up the first Pie Guild of Mississippi by royal Teach him how to make a fucking proper pie in this fucking country. Not all this shit, not this shitty pot pie. This pot pie for...
Pot pie's disgusting.
It's...
I won't touch it. I'm afraid of it. It doesn't add up.
Get some fucking pucker pies in this country.
It's unnatural, pot pie. It goes against the laws of nature. Yeah, it's illogical and unnatural.
It seems like it would be delicious because everything in it is delicious, except the flavor is just disgusting.
Yeah, it's nightmarish.
You're talking about a pie that's made of pot or like a chicken
Like a
pot
chicken
pie?
pot pie.
Yeah, I won't do it. I won't do it.
Fuck that shit.
I love
No,
chicken
it's-
pot pies. It's like a cross between a pie and a soup. It is actually a soup pie.
I know.
It is a soup pie. I won't do it.
It tricks you into thinking it will be delicious.
Oh, it's so good
And
though.
it is in fact not.
You guys are fucking idiots.
I just can't help
Chicken
it.
No.
pot pie's incredible.
Max, I'll take you to Britain and I'll show you some proper fucking pies.
Oh
Yeah.
no, it's fair. Just I don't
Talking
want
about
any of that
those
shepherd's
pies?
pie.
Yeah,
that
or-
is not a pie.
No,
That's
shepherd's pie is not a pie. Shepherd's pie
fucking
is...
pie. It's a shepherd's lie.
Shepherd's pie is lazy mashed potatoes, like lying on the bed of meat.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. They were like,
Sleeping mashed potatoes.
let's build a small skyscraper out of food and then
Yeah.
bake it.
It is nice. It is tasty. Shepherd's
Oh, no, it's
pie is
great.
good, but it's
I
not.
do love-
It's not a
yeah.
fucking pie. It's mashed potato and mince.
Yeah.
Mince?
I do love pub grub. It's wonderful. I always feel like a hobbit when I have it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it is good.
I
It's
want
expensive,
a
though.
pucker pie. I want a pucker pie. Pucker pie, a great pie. You get them in fish and chip shops. You go, I want some chips. I want a fucking pucker pie.
What's a pucker pie?
Give me a fucking sausage and batter and all, you cunt.
Sausage and butter and
Come here, you Greek cunt. I'm being a Londoner. This is what we do. Come here, you fucking Greek bastard. I want some fucking chips. I want a fucking pucker pie. I want a battered sausage. And while you're at it, get me one of them fucking pickled eggs and all, you fucking tosspot. I want it all wrapped up in paper, and I want that paper to be fucking soaking wet by the time I get home. I want to be fucking drowning in grease. I want my dog to take one lick of the fucking puddle left by this fucking dinner and have a fucking heart attack, you fucking Greek bastard.
Why is it? He's Greek. There's a lot of Greek people who sell
Greek
pucker
people-
pies.
Greek
in
people
London.
are like very common fish and chip vendors in Britain, and
I did not
everyone
know
who lives in London is a racist. So
I was gonna say your London character and your Pie Guild character are pretty similar.
No,
It's
one.
almost as if they're not characters at all.
I was gonna say it's a thinly veiled.
They're very different. One of them,
Oh, I'm sorry.
one of them was Brian Blessed, clearly, and the other one was all of the soldiers at the end of 28 Days Later. It's
Wow, that's a good point.
That's a good point. Yeah,
quite easy to distinguish the pair of them. I don't even know what your fucking ethnicity is, Jonathan. I hope you fucking cunt. All I know is you look like you should be in a fucking restaurant somewhere serving me my fucking dinner.
Mean.
London.
I liked it there.
I do miss racist, violent, face-setting on fire London.
Speaking of violence, I found it interesting that Jim is having trouble finding someone who wants to review Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3 on, what is that, PS3 and 360? I don't want to do it. No way.
I got a
won't do
code and no one's going to do it.
I'm definitely not doing it. No way.
I can't do fighting games.
I can if I really love them and understand them. But
It's alright, I'll get Nick to do it. We shouldn't be talking shop.
no,
Especially with people...
What should we be talking about, Jim?
well,
What
first,
should we be
I have
talking
4 minutes left. Make it good.
I'm gonna get 10 emails of people saying, I'll do it for you. I'll help Jim. Why don't you send me Dead Island? I will play it. If you need any help, Jim, just give me all your stuff and your job.
Strike me down with all your hatred.
Sorry, I
swear
just-
to fucking Christ.
yeah, it does happen. Well, Tara only has 4 minutes. Maybe Tara.
4 minutes.
Would you like
That's
him
as
to
much
do a
as I
song?
need to impress any lady. Ha ha, sex joke, folks.
What's the
Okay,
thing?
Taralone, this 4
Yeah.
minutes is yours.
Yes, anything
Do
you
with
like.
it whatever you want. We will accommodate. We will talk about. This is your. Oh, I can't wait. This is your this is your
Do
special.
you want to answer some questions?
Okay.
Does Jim want to answer them, or you want to ask him questions?
I haven't.
Tara Longcast, let's.
Hey, actually, you know what? I have a question for Jim.
Okay.
I've been wondering this for a long time. Do you have like a special routine that you do when you're like reviewing a game? Like, do you write the review as you're playing it, or do you finish the game and then write the review? I'm interested to know.
Oh. No one ever
Since I've
asked
never
me a
reviewed a-
question. Oh. No one ever asked me anything. No one cares about me. It's so nice to be cared about. It's nice to have someone just ask about how my day was and what I do with myself.
Okay, I rescind my question.
Actually, I'm one of those people that don't take notes. I don't like to take notes. I feel it impacts the way I enjoy the game. So I'll just play the game. I'll play it straight. I'll play it through. I'm always taking mental notes. I've been doing this since before Destructoid, when I was just reviewing games for a hobby. I'll constantly mentally log everything I'm doing, everything that happens. And then I'll just write the review in one big sitting. I'll do the introduction, talk about an overview of what the game is, what it is, what the controls are, what you do, what I think of the gameplay, any problems, graphics, sound, conclusion, bomb. There you go. Review done. Everyone's happy.
How curious. I would never be able to do that because I'm terrible at like remembering things.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people take notes. I believe some people think it's unprofessional and horrible. Like, if you're a bad journalist if you don't take notes. Which,
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I believe
But-
that old what's-his-face who writes that blog about what shitheads journalists are.
Oh, yeah.
He once had a go at Jeff Gerstmann because Gerstmann said he doesn't take notes. There's like some people aren't note takers, especially when it comes to reviewing a game. I don't want to be sat there writing in a little fucking booklet. I want to be playing a game because reviews, at least the reviews I write, are always about my experience and my overall thought, and I don't want to get too nitpicky with every little detail. So, yeah.
Sure, and people don't want that. I mean, my least popular reviews are the ones where I go into great detail because I want to make sure people know what they're getting into. And a lot of people just read reviews not for opinion, but just for like a fact Every once in a while, I'll do that because I'll be fascinated with the details, and people will be like, "Shut up, talk less, just tell me if the game's any good, and get on with it." Which is what you do, which is why you're such a big success, Jim. Ran out of breath. Long sentence. Yeah, typical of me. Yeah.
All right.
Now we know.
Thanks for answering my question. I have to go pick up Dead Island now. Short plug. On Monday's Destructoid show, we're going to be doing it's Labor Day, so we have to record it early on Friday. So that's why I have to go play it all tonight, and we're going to be doing a special review episode of it. So you know what? Maybe we should work out something. Maybe we can get you on Skype or something, Jim, since you're also playing the game.
Sure. It's always a pleasure.
It'd be
you know me.
Cool to all get together and play it together and talk about the things.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Is it a retail build?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not sure. It was unmarked, pretty much.
It's like the final. It's the final build. I mean, it's what they're.
Okay,
but it wasn't in a retail box.
She also sent us the version that you got, that you tweeted earlier. We just don't have it yet.
Okay,
the special edition one.
All right, yeah, we should get a game together, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. All Destructoid lads together.
Yeah. I'll speak to our producer about it.
Yeah, sure. And if you and Max, me and Nick Chester, both.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Has Nick Chester
zombie Podtoid? Why not?
Chester's got it. I know he's at some Call of Duty XP event right now. I don't know when he's coming back, but we shouldn't. Again, we're talking private business on Podtoid.
That's fun.
Okay. All right. I'll talk to you guys later then. Bye, Podtoid.
Bye.
Bye.
Zombatoid?
I don't know.
Max Scoville?
Fuck you. I don't know.
How long has gone?
God, it's so nice now she's gone. I can make my fart jokes.
How long I miss you already?
Oh, you turned
Is that song from the Lost Boys?
When
No,
I feel
so. What? No, I don't know that one.
You don't know that? You never seen the Lost Boys?
I sure have seen it.
flowers in your hair.
He's making a new song.
Cry, little sister, thou shalt not be.
God damn it.
He's hurting
Jim.
on purpose.
Jim,
He's
what kind
you.
of Gatorade are you drinking today?
You're trying to get him on track. I see what you're doing.
I'm really sorry if I've been annoying this episode.
Oh, I enjoy you.
I'm really sorry.
Can we, not to cut you off, because you shouldn't apologize. You know that you're great. I think the hardest song to sing in the world is the Good Times theme song. Do you guys know that song? Good
No.
Times? You don't know it? Oh. Jim?
Good times, celebrating good times. I've got a cake, good times. Turkey in the oven, good times. Look at me, good times. Wearing a party hat, got flower in my brooch, party time. I am sat in good times. Doing a dance here, good times. Cooking.
And that guy pops out and he's like, "Dynamite!" But that was from a different show, wasn't it? Was it?
No, that's the right show.
Okay.
Jesus. You
Okay.
almost know it. You're so
And
close.
Gary
It's not Gary Coleman.
jumps
It's not
out.
Gary
Gary
different.
Coleman jumps out and he goes, "Did I do that?"
You just combined J.J. Walker,
Wow.
Arnold Drummond, and Urkel into one
Excuse me,
black
Stephen Urkel.
Stephen Urkel. I'm sorry.
You guys got really American on me then. I don't understand any of that.
But you know the Puffles or whatever that show is. The raccoons.
the
Remember we were talking-
raccoons.
Hell,
I had a popple once.
Oh yeah, those were good. Yeah, I like the Popples.
the Poffles.
Yeah, they're not bad.
The theme tune for the Popples was Good Times. We are Popples, good times. Rolling in balls now, good times. I am green, good times.
So what else should we talk about now that Tara's gone? I was going to talk about how fighting game people are really intimidating. The fighting game fans.
Oh,
God
just
damn it!
don't get me started on esports. We
talked
we
about
talked
it
about these
We
guys.
talked about it last time.
Yeah, but
I heard, didn't you wrote an article about balance and tiers in fighting?
I didn't even look at the comments. I still haven't looked at them. Last I checked, there was like 110, and people told me via email and Twitter, "Oh, great article."
But I
Well,
know
apparently
that
the comments on Destructoid were really nice. Like, the people that read the article were good. And then you got, like, just tweets from these esports idiots just, "Oh, this guy is so ignorant, I am not going to respond to him, except for this tweet where I'm responding to him." That's my impression of everyone who's ever liked esports ever.
well, good job on that.
Wow, yeah. So I don't have much more to say about that, I guess.
I met DJ Wheat at PAX.
Oh, how was that?
Awkward.
Mm,
It was
okay.
It was one of those things where clearly we can't insult each other because we were at a party, but clearly we both know what the fuck is up. So it was
indeed.
this unspoken strangeness. Unlike, however, my meeting with Michael Pachter, industry analyst extraordinaire, who I hugged.
Yeah, you hugged him. Right?
Yeah.
Is he okay with that?
And then he was quick to tell the world that you're a big man in heart and in something.
Oh, no, he said I was a big man, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, weird.
Michael Pachter is fucking nice.
I can see that, yeah.
I've always made jokes about him on Destructoid, and whenever he's said wrong things, because the man can say some pretty out there shit, and I've called him out on it before, and it later transpired he was taking the stuff I wrote very personally.
Oh, that's too bad.
The thing is he has a job that is like our job, except he has to pretend he's serious.
Pretty much, yeah.
Which
I
is
feel bad for
really,
him in that way.
I mean,
But
I have to make fun. I called him the Fudge Pacter.
Oh, no.
Well, the thing that really, because he's got that show that article column, Pacter's Podium, and of all the things I've said about anyone in the industry, apparently this is what finally tipped him over the edge and made him call me out in public. I suggested he do a show called Pacter's Podium, where he analyses his own poos and tells us what he ate for dinner. And apparently that was the tipping point. That's where he had enough, and then he tweeted about how, he's never spoken to me before, and I should, get to know him before insulting him. And then I said, "Oh, Pachter, all you ever have to do is actually, fucking tell me if you think I've crossed a line, and I'll stop." Which has always been my role with anyone in the industry. Most people take it very well, my nickname for Jeff Rubenstein at Sony is the Sexual Ape, and I.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. And I constantly draw, googly eyes and big waggy tongues on Aaron Greenberg's face, and both of those guys are cool with it and they find it funny. Not everyone does, but all they've got to do is email me and I'll stop. I've always been, cool about that. So we got into that kind of thing. Funnily enough, Pachter says he took that all to heart. When I spoke to him at PAX, he said he took everything on board and knows not to take it personally in that, so long as I don't, legit call him an arsehole. He says it's fine, and then, I shook his hand, and then we both hugged it out.
Have you seen a picture of his wife?
I have not, no.
She's fucking hot.
Well, you shouldn't be worried about anything on the internet.
Yeah, right? Seriously, the dude is he sounds smart talking about video games, and he's got a super hot wife, so, I mean, shit.
I know.
There you go.
We always expect people. Well, people expect the same thing out of you, Max. They're like, "What? Max is jealous of guys that can play guitar?" But you weren't always as sexy as you are now. You've always been sexy, but just not as sexy.
Stop.
Likewise, Pachter
sexually harassing me.
Pachter has always been a superstar. He's a superstar. He's got 3 different shows. He's probably paid very well. He's one of the more famous analysts in the history of the industry. But on the inside, he might still be an insecure little Pachter.
I'm friends with him now. He said we were friends for life.
That's right.
He actually said that. And I met him later that day as well. We were both crossing the road. We were cross paths. I went to just say hello and just briefly shake his hand again. This was in the middle of the road. And he went, no, always hugs. And grabbed me, and we both hugged it out again in the middle of the road.
Wow.
It was an awesome moment. So I'm glad that kind of we're back on track with Pachter now, because I've never meant to any serious offence at the guy, because I don't think he's a bad guy, and it's the same with all the meat jokes about Reggie Fils-Aimé. I do them because I think they're funny, not because of anything I think about the guy. Which is probably incredibly selfish. I
don't think so.
I don't give a fuck about you. Just imagining you as a ball of meat amuses me.
It's a mystery to me.
I mean, we do these things where we make fun of people, and we say some shit. But from what I can gather, it's generally a pretty amiable industry. I mean, we all kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't high school. Like, we're not going to try and beat each other up, except for Cliffy B, who I'm pretty sure wants to actually fight me. I still haven't met the guy. Like, everyone's fucking met him but me.
Yeah.
He's really nice. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He's a nice chap.
Pretty nice, you know. Everyone's like pretty nice people.
Yeah.
I made some a while ago. Adam Kovic from Inside Gaming on Machinima, he tweeted this link to an Amazon page that was like a rubber horse mask. He said, I really wish I could justify this as a purchase that we needed for our show, like a work purchase. We actually had a rubber horse mask backstage at the Podtoid show, so I went and got it, and I sent him a picture, and I just said, "Suck it, Machinima. You know, who's the best now?" And some kid like tweeted at me and was like, "Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are?"
Yeah, it's not that serious, guys.
Like,
Yeah, I love the guys that get offended for other people.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
And I get that, like, you know, with fanboys of things, you know, I make fun of the PS3 and everything, but most of the people at Sony really like me, and it's just their fans that get upset and pissed off, and it's like the people at Sony understand that, you know, sometimes criticism is there to be had, and I'll do it, and a lot of other Destructoid writers will do it in a more impassioned manner than most. And most companies are cool with that, so, you know, lay back, guys. It's not that bad. It's not that serious.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about defending Nintendo or Sony.
And I'm not saying,
they're going to do fine.
And I'm not saying, you know, oh, hey guys, you know, video gaming isn't serious business or whatever, because I know people are like, oh, take it seriously, man. It's like, you know, we're still talking about video games, and there are intellectual and serious points to be made, but at the same time, we're still talking about a fun pastime that everyone should be enjoying themselves with.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just I look at people like on NeoGAF or N4G, and it's like they seem so sad all the time.
Yeah, I
They
know.
seem so miserable all of the time, just so upset with everything. And no one's allowed to make any jokes. You know, there's no line between the truth and humour now. It's the truth or trolling. You're either got to be 100% sincere, or any joke you make, oh, he's trolling. He's trolling.
Yeah.
It's like, no, but sometimes people are just trying to make you laugh. And if you let yourself laugh, then maybe you'd have a much nicer time and you'd enjoy video games more.
Yeah. You know what's more entertaining than watching somebody talk about something in a boring manner? Watching them talk about it in an entertaining manner. Like, it's pretty simple concept there.
Yeah.
I mean,
some people defy being entertained on purpose. They don't want to be
I understand the
entertained.
idea of being a hardcore fan of something. I can get it, but at the same time, there are a lot of fucking video games, and the reason I feel like the reason that we do what we do, is we know what to take seriously and what not to. And if you are hardcore serious about video games, you're not really going to have a whole lot of energy to do much else. Like, you know, think of stuff about them, and I don't know.
Sure.
Somebody bitched me out for not being serious enough about Mass Effect. For Mass Effect 3.
What does that even mean?
Apparently, I talked about how there were frog people, you know, and I know they're called Krogans. I thought it sounds funnier that way. So I said the frog people who are good fighters and blah. You know, it's funny because it's Mass Effect 3. It's at a point where either you're going to buy it or you're not, you know?
Yeah.
If you like the second one, and maybe the new one's caught your attention, like it's just there's.
So they think that you were making fun of their precious Mass Effect 3, which has millions of fans and is in no threat of being a financial failure in any way. It's going to make millions of dollars no matter what, so who cares? Yeah. Why?
But it goes back to the esports thing again, where you can't have a criticism, you can't make a joke.
Or
and
just
it's
a
like,
different
if
opinion.
you guys were fucking secure in what you believed in, that esports is an esport thing and that, you know, should be taken seriously. If you were secure in that, you wouldn't need to act so insecure and so upset at any perceived slight.
Right.
It's like, from anyone, like not just like a high-profile character, but like a Destructoid community C blogger or something. It's like
sure.
you fucking get so upset over any perceived slight, and it makes you look so insecure, and it makes gamers look just dreadful.
Yeah, just mean, thought police, angry, intolerant. Yeah, it's ugly.
Yeah,
I agree.
I like how it's always towards the end of Podtoid that we just get all kind of serious, and we're like, why can't we just get along?
it's like a drunken conversation.
Yeah.
Like, it's
I
all
love
fun
you
and
guys.
games,
I
and
really, really love you guys.
we've reached the philosophical stage now. I think it's time for some questions.
Let's do some questions. Fuck yes.
Fucking hell.
One question. You guys, they're doing a... I wanted to ask you guys this. I should have asked you ahead of time. Sorry. They're doing a 3DS event, and people are wondering what they're going to announce. What do you think they're going to announce? They're doing a thing.
Probably they're going to announce the 3DS Lite.
3DS Lite. What'll that be like, Max?
It's going to have two thummy pads.
Two thummy thingies.
It won't have 3D.
And it won't have 3D, so it won't be a 3DS Lite then. It'll be like
It'll cost $250.
So it'll be a double nub Lite.
the dub nub. The Nintendo nub. I don't fucking know. I don't care. I really...
Well, no, that was a great answer. I loved it. Well, people are talking,
I think they're going to give to everyone who bought the 3DS early, they're going to give out a bag of Pogs, and they're going to call us the 3DS Slam Ambassadors. There's some 90s humour for you.
Oh, that would be good. I also think they might announce something new. I think it might be a version of the 3DS that is way cheaper, that doesn't have 3D. I don't really think the two nub thing is going to happen, because that would cause developers who've been already working on their games for a couple of years now to have to go back to the drawing board in terms of controls and stuff like that. So I don't really think the two nub thing will happen. Maybe it will, but I do think it's possible that a no 3D 3DS will come out that'll just be, probably a good $50 cheaper to produce, so they could put it out for close to $100, because people don't care about 3D, as it turns out. That's what I've noticed anyway.
3D fucking shit, that's why.
Oh, I like it a little. I don't like it $50 more.
It actually works okay on the 3DS. I actually don't mind it there. Playing console games in 3D, I do not like it. I played House of the Dead Extended Cut at PAX in 3D. I didn't like it. I played Sonic Generations in 3D. I played Silent Hill Downpour in 3D. I like my eyes to focus on things. Sure. And 3D isn't good at letting you focus on things, because there's too many points of interest for your eyes, and they can't get a bead on what... Yeah.
Max can speak to this as a fellow art student. You don't want to overload people's brain with information when you create something for them to look at. Like, if you airbrush everything, there's just so many different colors and depths of field going on at the same time. It's like, whereas you would look at like Batman the Animated Series, you can look at that all day because it doesn't tax your eye. Brain.
I mean, here's the thing, you get fucking Ubisoft and Sony, going so far up fucking 3D's arse that just their little feet are poking out, and they talk, it's going to be the next HD. It's like, well, no, the thing about HD is that there is an almost universal acceptance that it's a step forwards or a step upwards. Whereas with 3D, there are so many problems.
It's more of a step sideways, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just people with different visual impairments, people, with various degrees of sightedness, people that just literally cannot see 3D images. You get all this fucking shit, and it's like, with HD, you don't have so many barriers in the way. And even someone like me, who, my eyes work more or less fine, I can see 3D, but I don't like it. It's gross. To me, just that many, perspectives floating around in a screen is gross to me. It's grotesque. I do not like it at all. And especially playing something like Sonic, it's like running that fast in 3D is
It's just over.
I played some Ocarina. I was sitting next to Eric, Dtoid user, Mud Bastard, on the flight back.
I thought it was Mud Buster. It's Bastard?
No, it's Mud Bastard.
Sorry, Eric.
Yeah. But he let me borrow it. He's like, "Do you wanna?" I'm like, "I have Oreos and Chex Mix," and he's like, "You wanna borrow my 3DS?" And I was like, "Yeah, this beats the shit out of playing terrible Linux games in the seat back. Anyway, I played that, and I periodically I would turn the 3D on for a moment just to see how it would look, but then I'd turn it off. Like, the reason you don't get a deck entirely of like holographic cards is it's kind of like, I don't know. It wouldn't be as. That's not a terrible analogy.
No, I thought it was pretty good. No, I know.
It's just you basically don't want to overwhelm anybody. I think that it's when you have a game that has the rumble feature going constantly, like, you don't want that just constantly. Yeah. I feel like it would be kind of cool to have like certain parts that involve 3D, like, you know, kind of sprinkled throughout, but having the entire game in 3D is just, it doesn't do anything gameplay wise, and it's just tiring for your eyes. So,
well, we need to remember as well, fucking 3D has been a gimmick like once every 10 years for the past fucking
20, 30 years almost.
It'll even be on there. Like, I remember people in the 60s, wasn't it, getting all up in arms like, oh, 3D, it's the new thing. And
I think ever since there was color.
Yeah, and I remember being a kid in the 90s and 3D was big then, and now it's big again now, and it'll go away and it'll come back again with new technology later on, and there is nothing more faddy to me than 3D, and it doesn't even lend itself well to like many movie genres, or like action and horror. That's your genre. That's 3D right there. That's your 3D movie.
Give me some holograms. Give me some holograms. Give me some actual holograms, and then give me, and then you can have sex with them. Can we have some questions?
Yes. Okay, this question is, I have a feeling Holmes is going to be the guy who really has an opinion on it. But Ziag asks, are you pissed that Nintendo's almost completely ignoring Metroid's 25th anniversary?
Fuck yes.
Really? You're mad?
Yeah. I'm fucking pissed about that.
Oh, okay. Tell me more.
It's kind of bullshit. Metroid is one of my all-time favorite games. I am dying to play I've been really wanting to play Super Metroid again.
I was just playing it last night.
Yeah, I could get it and play it on something, but I don't know. I haven't really. That's why I'm excited about Aliens Infestation so much, I think. Yeah. I mean, they're always like, carting out Link so that everyone can suck his dick, and good God.
You mean so Sonic? Sonic can suck his dick. Sonic sucks his dick. Sonic. Not everyone, just Sonic.
Fucking suck that dick, yeah! Panicle!
Suck that chili dog, Tails!
I'm sorry. Yeah, you continue. Yeah.
Right, and then they have those Italians who come out and they like take off their overalls and they're like, "Hey, it's a winner, that's suck a dick." But it's like, where's Samus? Why isn't Samus being all like, do the thing, do that one thing,
Well,
people suck her dick, but
I personally feel guilty because I've been meaning all month to write a feature about how much I love the first Metroid, but I just keep not doing it. Other stuff gets in the way. So I feel personally guilty. I feel like it would be hypocritical of me to point fingers at Nintendo for not celebrating it, because I haven't celebrated Metroid as much as I'd like to. That said, they did just have Other M, which sold way worse than they thought, and got panned really hard, like passionately hated by, I would say, at least, no, more than that. Just from what I've read, much more than 50% of the reviews and features about it have been like passionately hateful. So it's kind of like when a female celebrity has a scandal, it's usually a female, she had what do they call it when their vaginas are shown by accident? There's a word for that, right?
Upskirt?
Is it or like a pussy flash maybe? Pussy flash?
I guess that would be a lip slip.
A lip slip.
Yeah.
It's similar to that time Janet Jackson's nipple was shown on the
Right, that's a nip slip.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mix up vaginas and nipples sometimes.
You're a weird man.
Long story short, and it has been too long, I apologize. Samus is in hiding right now. She's ashamed after Other M. They don't want to. They want to wait for that to blow over for a little longer. Unfortunately, that happened on the 25th birthday of the series. But I imagine once a Metroid game comes out that people actually like, they'll be talking about the series again.
Well, I think it's a problem because Metroid is inherently Nintendo's most not mature, but it's the most adult oriented of their franchises. And
I could see that. I think
they don't
it's
know how to go about it. Like they tried to make a first person shooter out of it with Prime, and people like that sort of. I always hated it, but
they loved it. Prime series did really well, actually.
Yeah, I know. And then I was looking forward to Other M just because it was going back to side scroller kind of thing.
But it totally didn't.
Yeah,
it really didn't.
Yeah, I know.
The thing is, I'm done being mad at Nintendo. It's like I can't be angry at them anymore because if I was angry at them every time they did something worth being angry about, I'd be an N4G poster, like we mentioned earlier.
I am bummed that they're not. I mean, they do it for fucking Mario. They do it for Link. Like, why the fuck don't they release some special edition ass fucking like?
It's all Other M's fault. It's all Other M's fault. I just said. I meant to say fault. Yeah, it's all Other M's fault.
It's not Other M's fault. It's Nintendo's fault for being stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always like Nintendo.
They're not. I mean, why the fuck aren't they putting Super Metroid on? Like, if they put that out for the 3DS, like, I'd probably consider, buying a 3DS.
Yeah, who knows?
Here is why Nintendo is not celebrating Metroid Metroid's 25th anniversary. Because Metroid is owned by the same company that made it take longer to find the NES games to download them on the 3DS than it took to actually download the cunts.
Well, you got that tip I sent in about. Oh, sorry, talking about Inside Baseball again. You got you downloaded them a day early. That took a while. You had to hunt around.
Yeah, but it's still the same thing.
Is it really?
Once I knew where they were, and it's still where they are, once I knew where they were, just having to navigate, because once you set the download, it then kicks you out of it, so you have to go back to the menu, back to the settings, back to your downloads, back to scrolling all the way fucking down to finding the games. And it's if you're going top to bottom, it takes a little bit longer each time as well. So it's navigating, not just not wondering where they are, but knowing where they are and going to them and selecting them takes longer than it does to download them. And that's why Metroid's 25th anniversary is not celebrated. Because the executives at Nintendo must have suffered some awful trauma as children to the point where they think the things that happen now are okay. For Iwata to look at the 3DS Ambassador Program and think that's cool, for Iwata to think that not celebrating Metroid is an okay thing, and for Iwata to think that we all want to play Urban Champion, he must have been raped fucking hard as a kid.
Okay, next question.
Wow.
Okay, Duck Quack says he had a really nice message, actually. He said, you guys provide me with hours of entertainment, sure, but it's something more than that. I love listening to your conversations. Jim, you said something in one of the earlier podcasts about feeling unsure if the others would take to your sense of humour, and they did. I know I've had moments in my life where I was unsure if I would be welcome and my worries were unfounded. I know this is cheesy as fuck, but you guys are helping me grow as a person. A little bit, yes, but still growth. I just feel better after the humour, the insight, the social interaction of the podcast. What I realised was that you really do just have to be yourself, and that's actually hard sometimes when you really know or think you don't have any real identity. I'm trying to get that out of that. I'm trying to get out of that rut right now. And again, I know it's corny, but I had to say it. I also want you guys to know you're making a change, a difference, an impact in someone's life, no matter how small it may be. Hopefully, this comment opens the door to others for what the fuck is Jonathan Holmes' ethnicity.
Oh, fuck you. I was getting all choked up for a second because that's all heartwarming.
Yeah, that was well written.
I like to think he meant the last bits as well.
Yeah, that had to come from somewhere.
But Doug Up on Quack we actually mentioned him last week and didn't read it out because it was so long, and he's been posting it trimmed down to get me to read it. I thought I'll do it. Thank you, Doug Up on Quack, for any of that you might have meant.
Honestly, this was my first PAX, first chance to actually meet community members, and having people come up and be like, "Hey, man, I like your show," whichever they're talking about, this one or the Destructoid show or whatever it is. That's huge. I was just glowing for the past few days just because I was so happy that that's a thing, And it sounds corny, and it is corny, but when you wake up in the morning and you read what's the worst name you can call someone? That on YouTube, those fucks saying just petty, mean shit, and you're like, well, I'm doing this for them, so I'm glad they hate me. It really makes up for it when people come up and they're like, hey, dude, like, can I have a picture with you? Like, and I'm like, fuck that, let's hang out and talk for a minute,
Yeah, it's amazing. Like PAX is always. I say always. This was only my second, and yeah, it's breathtaking because I'm sure you're the same way, Max, and you, Jonathan. Like when we're just writing at home or in our offices or wherever we are, like because it's the internet, we don't really interact with an audience, and we don't know who's reading, who's seeing, how big it is, what scope we are, or whether even we're making people laugh or think something, and then you go to something like PAX and you see people who really appreciate you, and it does make up for it. It makes up for just the torrent of abuse that we have to weather sometimes, and it
sounds petty to get bent out of shape about stuff on the internet, and yes, you could ignore it, but why is the comment feature there if you're just going to ignore it? It's just people shouting into a void, and really, if you are working on the internet and you are if it's a digital place, I mean it's not a huge difference from people on the street being like, hey, fuck you,
Yeah, it is like people just coming into your workplace and screaming at you. That's how it feels sometimes. So when they actually come up to you and say they like what you do, it does counteract that a lot. It is a relief.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah, deep.
But
deep
yes,
serious.
thank you.
Fuck are you?
Yeah. But I do want to just say thank you to everyone that came up to myself and other Detoid editors this weekend. It was kind of, I think the funniest one, this kid came up to me, but he ran at me from behind and just went, "Are you Jim Sterling or am I crazy?" And I'm like, and that's so weird because it's not crazy for me to be there. And I didn't feel like it should be weird, but apparently to some people it is weird to see me, and I think that's really what hammers home like how awesome like the job is, and how well you're sort of doing, and how well I've done, which is always a surprise, and it should always be a surprise. Like you shouldn't be like, I'm not going to name names, but certain people in the industry who very much take it for granted and very much act like they deserve the recognition and the praise that they get. You should always be surprised and shocked and confused, which
absolutely.
I always try and remember to always be confused because it makes you appreciate it.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And because, Jonathan, you were not there at PAX, I will read out Wicket's question, which was, does Jonathan Holmes know that I love him so much?
Oh, that's nice. He was mad at me about something, I think. I think it was about fighting games, actually. Because I implied that you can't tell who the best fighting game character is solely based on EVO results and what people who compete say about characters. And he was like, oh, come on. EVO guys, they're the experts. And I was like, not really. So he loves me. Thanks, I love you too, Wicked.
Yeah, that's nice. Little request for Pen Kaizen. I've just baked a parsnip pie, Snake! Eat my pie, brother! So that's just for Pen Kaizen. Henrik GDS, I guess. He asks what kind of music we like. I don't think we've ever really talked about music. We've talked about everything else that isn't video games. We might as well talk about music. Max, you're a man of well-travelled...
Oh, Jesus, what am I listening to these days? People say they like everything. I don't like everything. I like a lot of things. Most recently, last night I was listening to the 8 Mile soundtrack, which I listen to a lot because I'm an idiot.
Is that Eminem singing that?
It's not all Eminem, but it's some of him is on there. I like 8 Mile because it's such a stupid rags to riches movies. Music wise, I've been listening to a lot of Chemical Brothers and early kind of electronic music, like early Prodigy, Future Sound of London. I like instrumental stuff just because I can read or draw or write while I'm listening to it, so it's kind of good to zone out to. I also, all-time favorites would be Iron Maiden, The Misfits, NWA, the Pogues, a lot of 80s new wave one-hit wonders. I hope to someday star in a biopic of Falco. Johnny Cash, Danzig, a lot of rap, Eazy-E, stuff like that. I don't know. MC Chris all the way. That's about it.
Who's MC Chris again?
He did a lot of Adult Swim stuff. He raps about Star Wars bounty hunters.
We talked about him last week.
Yeah, nerd rap.
Yeah, after hearing.
But yeah, that's some of the things that I like. I like a lot of shit though. So
that's a lot of stuff. That's good stuff. Yeah.
More recently though, it's been like crap. Anyway.
Jonathan,
Jim likes Rush.
I do like Rush. I'm actually one of the only people in the world. I like to think I'm one of the only people in the world whose iTunes playlist will include Scissor Sisters and the Electric Light Orchestra. I love ELO. That's the first band I ever fell in love with. ELO. I like Scissor Sisters. I'm a big fan of Nine Inch Nails. I recently got into a guy called 009 Sound System, who does like electronic dance. Love Sparks.
They're incredible. I love them.
Fantastic. Sparks Brothers. You can't even pin them down to a genre. They go from pop to glam to techno to just fucking, nowadays they're like avant-garde fucking mental shit. Highly suggest you do a YouTube search for the song Dick Around, which was one of their later ones, which is just insane. What else do I like? I like Rush, as said. Started to get into the Stranglers a bit more. Love a bit of David Bowie, of course, and just all sorts of like all over the place. It really is an odd. I'm not really into like rap and that sort of thing. Otherwise, I'll give pretty much anything, and even then, I appreciate some rap, but it's just not for me. But yeah, also very eclectic, very random, and 90s one-hit wonders as opposed to Max's 80s. I love Mr. Vane. No Rain. Sweet. I've even got fucking Sweet Like Chocolate. So yeah.
What's that? I don't even know what that is.
Just fucking look for it on YouTube.
You won't sing it? Come on, sing it. Sweet Like Chocolate.
For 5 minutes. There's a bit of a song in there as well, but
is that by those Russian sisters who kiss?
No.
No, that's Tattoo. I like them.
That's Tattoo.
Yeah.
I actually don't mind that song either. I like that song as well. It's good. Yeah. Jonathan, what kind of music tickles your ears?
Oh, that's tough. People recently introduced me to Reggie Watts, who I should have known about because he's been around for a while. He's really good. He's like a strange comedian.
Is he like the giant hair guy?
Yep, giant hair guy, giant beard.
Awesome.
Did a song called Fuck Shit Stack about hip-hop that's really good. He's got a lot of good songs, though, and like depending on what performance he's doing, he'll come out with a British accent or a Southern accent, so no one knows what his actual accent is or where he's from. He's kind of this like ambiguous ethnicity character that for some reason... Well, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, like you.
Yeah. What else do I like? I like Joy Division and New Order a lot. I like The Advantage, which is a video game music cover band.
I saw that.
Oh yeah, how were they?
Yeah, I saw them. They're great. I saw them in Petaluma a few years back, and that was like no one I was with gave a fuck about like video game music, and I was like, guys, come on, it's the fucking Advantage, and they were like, I don't, and I was like, fuck you.
Yeah,
guys.
I know. They kind of missed the boat. Their two CDs came out before kind of the craze that's kind of going on now. Yeah, I've enjoyed them for a while, and
their cover of the Goonies music. The Goonies.
I know, it's so good.
So good. I fucking love that.
Yeah. I listen to that a lot. I also like the Misfits. I don't like Danzig solo as much. Like the Misfits to me is like RoboCop, and Danzig solo is like RoboCop 3. I still appreciate it, but it's a little bit. I'm laughing at it a little bit more than laughing with it.
I think that it's kind of like the Misfits is sort of like Dawn of the Dead, and then Danzig is sort of like The Ring, and you're like,
I was thinking more Return of the Living Dead. Danzig is very Return. Have you seen Return of the Living Dead with the punk rock?
It's got a great soundtrack.
Yeah, it's hard rock.
What about Samhain? Do you like Samhain at all?
That's it's a little too serious. I like it.
They have there's something weird. It sounds like the Misfits in a really long tunnel.
Yeah,
And it's like
yeah.
more spooky. Like it's the
the
more
most
occult side of
sincerely
Misfits.
evil. Yeah, like the Misfits.
I
I
prefer
don't feel.
them.
Huh? You prefer
I
Misfits
prefer them
to Sammy?
immediately to the new Misfits with fucking Jerry Only and those
Oh,
guys
I
because
haven't
that just
that. Yeah.
oh god, they're like that's like Spider-Man and his amazing friends. It was Jerry Only, Marky Ramone, and Des Cadena, and they were like, let's just do like like 50s covers, but we'll like wear horror makeup when we do it. Oh, that's a great idea. We'll call ourselves the Misfits. Fuck you.
They really did that? That's dumb. I wish they hadn't.
One of the better experiences in my life is I saw Danzig on tour and he played an all classic Misfits set with the original guitarist Doyle, which was
cool.
fucking awesome because it was Danzig's like not being like man, scary blues metal, instead he was just doing like Astro Zombies and shit. So that was awesome.
Sure, that's great.
Yeah. I've never seen so many metalheads smiling all at once. It was beautiful. They were like the scariest fucking crowd, and they were just all like beaming and looking happy. It was like fucking crazy.
Well, that's my theory on the Misfits is that if you're one of those guys who thinks you always have to be frowning and angry, you can't help but be a little bit happy when you hear Ratfink. Like it is kind of just a purely joyful song. You know Ratfink, where it just spells the word Ratfink. Yep. That's the lyrics. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it's their one time they can feel good and say, oh, but I'm still tough because, they're wearing angry makeup, the Misfits. Mm-hmm. So I like other music beside that, but I'll talk about it some other time because we talked about it for too long.
Okay, next question. Do we have one more questions, or what is it?
Kneebone says, favorite... What?
I'm confused today.
It's like, we've only been listening for 2 hours. Only 2 hours. Yeah.
Kneebone says favorite video game hat. Now I don't know if he's talking about like an in-game hat or like a physical hat because I've got several video game in-game hats, of which Max Scoville and I received Skyrim, which was
awesome
amazing. And they might actually, if we're talking real, that might be my favorite. I've got like I've since now that I've got more than two, I think I might start a collection because I've got the Scribblenauts hat, the Sonic the Hedgehog hat from Sonic Colors, Skyrim, and the Kirby's Epic Yarn hat. And I'm really tempted to start... I would never wear them, but just to have them.
What's the Kirby's Epic Yarn hat? What's the Kirby's Epic... What?
With my review copy, they sent me a beanie, like a pink beanie with Kirby's Epic Yarn on it.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
It's a really nice... I've actually stuck it on my plush companion cube, and so my companion cube is wearing an Epic Yarn hat.
Man, our stuff is worth more than we are to the world.
Yes.
We have so much stuff.
What's my favorite hat? Fuck, I know I love stupid hats. I swear to God, I have stupid hats. I guess my favorite, if we're thinking like in-game hats, I really like Ash Ketchum's hat, and I really like the Minish cap from Zelda.
Oh yeah, Elzo, I think his name is Elizo.
Is it? Is he the name?
Because
I played that like 2 months ago and I don't remember it because of the fucking plots. The plots in Zelda are just stupid.
Yeah,
they're like blonde women's names. You don't need to know them.
Ow. They're selling Mario, Luigi, and Wario hats at a Halloween store in town over here. I'm really tempted to get the Wario hat. It comes with a little moustache. I would actually look like Wario if I put that on.
That's true.
I should buy it and do a Jimquisition with it and then write it off on my taxes.
What hats do I like? I don't know. That's a weird question, isn't it? It is, right?
It is,
That's a weird question. There's a lot of hats these days.
I don't get that worked up
promotional in-game hats, and then there are like hats that you get promotionally out of game, and then there are character hats in the game. Like nerds really like hats. If I learned one thing at PAX, it's that there are hats just everywhere. They just love those fucking hats.
So
I like hats too, but I don't like them enough that I like pick out the favorites per se. Like I like the guy in Persona. I think you pronounce it Junpei. He's got a hat. Yeah, looks good. All right.
Well, Destructoid decided to go down again for the 50 billionth time this week, so I ain't doing number of questions. So that has decided to end this Podtoid for us.
wow.
We've gone for over 2 hours. They bet they're fucking entertainment. They better be fucking out. Better be fucking out with you fucking Greek cunt.
Oh, why don't you email us a pie, why don't you?
Oh, I would love... I've got to retire now and eat another pie. I do like to eat mushroom pie. Fungi. Fun pie.
Okay.
Fun pie. Stick it up your fun pie.
Okay.
Wow. Wow. Sometimes I really want to try to join in with you guys, but then I wouldn't be able to pay as much attention to you. I like doing voices and
You
stuff
actually
too, but you guys
contribute.
are so good.
You did contribute.
Huh?
You said guys who love pies. That's going to be the title, obviously.
That will be our
Guys who love
Skyrim.
pies.
Jim, we really need to do that. Just when we get Skyrim, just put on our dumb hats and get on Skype together and just talk about pies while we're playing the game.
Record it. Maybe I can
Skyrim.
capture the video and put it on the internet and people will watch it.
That's really the sad thing about the internet.
Yeah.
They're like pigs, you feed them shit and they eat it.
Toss them another chicken bone and watch them lap it up with gratitude.
Make them a garbage pie. Okay.
We are members of the Evil Pie Guild.
God damn it, Jim.
We enjoy pies as well, but evilly. Enjoy your poo pie, peasant. It tastes like poo because poo is in it. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
Somebody, Bill Zwicker wants me to... No, someone wants me to ask you something, Jim. One last question, I guess.
Okay.
One.
Yeah.
Something about herpes. Oh, yeah. It's too late to talk about herpes. It's a big topic.
I'm in.
Someone wants to know if you used to read... Mealtime. Somebody from Epic Mealtime, I think, wants to know if you... Mealtime strategy. I don't know what that is yet. I'm going to go find out in a second. I'm sorry. I mixed them up. This guy wants to know if you used to read Oink comic. Sorry.
I've never heard of Oink comic.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
sorry if that's disappointed him. I've never... I used to read the Beano.
What's the Beano? I thought that was the stuff you take when your poops don't come out.
Fucking shit, guys. I gotta go.
Beano, yeah, that's for tough
I'll
poops.
talk to you guys later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hi, Max.
Pie.
How did pie become a thing in your mind? It just did.
What? Pie Guild. Anyway. I love the idea of there being a guild of pie masters.
Who are all gruff and...
Yeah, because pie is such a manly, hearty meal, so they've got to be like manly, hearty men. You know, hairy, like, in sackcloth. The journeymen will be in sackcloth. The higher ones can have tunics and surcoats. And, like, helmets and flagons of, like, ale mixed with pie crust. So it's like a big pie ale. And they're quaffing. They don't drink. Like, they quaff any liquid. Like, it's always quaffed. And they're just, like, tucking into pie with a massive fork. And just enjoying pie. Just guys who like pies, just getting together and feeling the pie.
It is poetic, but what impresses me most about them is if you don't want to talk about pies, then that's too bad. Because they just are going to talk about pies.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's the thing about the Guild of Pie Masters, is they're committed to pie. They...
committed and impassioned to the point where it's like, I mean...
In fact, if you want to discuss anything else with them, all the information has to be in a pie chart. Because otherwise they won't pay attention. That's a lovely graph, but do you have it in pie chart? But the trouble is they love pie so much, you know, they think the concept of pie is so delicious to them that they will try and eat the pie chart.
Wow. So their passion knows no bounds.
They're the Pie Masters, man.
I'm impressed. I can't wait to find out more. Maybe even next week.
Maybe even next week. Yes. Maybe. No.
Could happen.
No. One episode is one episode too many to talk about the Guild of Pie Masters.
Well, I enjoyed it.
Shit. Max is right about just shoveling shit into the mouths of pigs.
Is that what he said about our show?
I don't know, probably. He should have, because it's true. It's true.
Yeah,
but I love
people enjoy-
everyone. I love all of the shit-eating pigs that listen to us. I really...
Me too. I
Yeah,
consider myself one of them. I listen to us.
Yeah, so I'd like to
Yeah.
thank you all for taking the time out and listening to Podtoid. I've been your host, Jim Sterling, and I've been joined by Jonathan and Max and Tara. You can catch Max and Tara every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the Destructoid show. Not this coming Monday, I don't think, because that's the holiday, isn't it, this Monday? So.
Well, they're going to shoot a show that I believe will air on.
Oh, okay,
Monday.
yeah. Yeah, so
Shoot it
nothing will
ahead of
change
time.
for you guys, so it will be Monday. You can catch me and Jonathan Holmes, we're hanging around on Destructoid every day, destructoid.com on the internet, so check us out there. Download our Android app if you want. Like I said before, I can't get any bloody exclusives on that as much as I want to, but, you just be helping us out. And subscribe on iTunes and write nice reviews on iTunes, all that shit. So, yeah, I guess we will see you next week at the normal time. Thank you and goodbye.
Goodbye.